Yeah, your technical things happen.
What is it? So I can see it on the app that it's coming through. Maybe can you check on your phone? Maybe it's this phone. Maybe so I can. Oh,
Sound message on that? Yeah, it's running.
okay. Running. Yeah. Okay.
Good.
Maybe it was just my phone.
Yeah, must have. Make sure they ain't put no device in there. You know? Yeah. You stay over there.
Chucking it
You stay over there, brother. You know, for the good of the brotherhood, man. You gotta stay over there with that phone. Right. Yeah, let's get the scripture, man. 'Cause it's all about prophecy. You know, there's other things happening, but you know, prophecy is the main thing. And we speak about that war of Armageddon, you know, which is going to lead to the destruction of America and the coming of our Lord and our salvation. So these things are important. We got to speak about it. Yeah,
The book of Revelation 19 and 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, See thou do it not, I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship Most High, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy.
Right, the spirit of prophecy, man. And the Lord has blessed us with understanding these prophecies in the scriptures. The scripture, surely the Lord shall not do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, man. And we're able to go into the scriptures, go into these prophecies, and measure the time diligently so that we can understand the time they're in and the things that are happening so we don't get bugged out or caught off guard like the rest of these people out there. And we've been warning you about for years about the JOO and how they would be the trigger for World War III. You know, the bringing of America and their allies into this global war. And you know, as time has gone on, you can see it even more clearly to the point where secular people who have no idea about the prophecy are saying the same thing. You get people in the secular realm saying, "Yo, these Israelis, man, they're gonna draw America," and they're saying it seems like America's hell bent. They might be indecisive on certain things. But one thing we do know that every puppet is in agreement on is they're gonna be backative for the Israeli state. You know, they're ride or die for that.
That's why they're sending more ships down there, you know, just to make sure they got the force behind them, you know, in case something serious happens. Because it's gonna happen eventually. Israel's gonna overstep the mark, man. And these the Irans and the world, they're gonna retaliate, you know, because they're angry, man.
They ain't gonna stop, man, because Esau has an insatiable appetite, man.
That's the first one. Okay, so Jeremiah 49 and 20. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh that he hath taken against Edom.
Right, Edom is, if you didn't know, is a so-called white man as a nation of people. That's what Edom is. The so-called Caucasian man, they're the Edomites. America, Britain, these are just different nations or that they set up. But the Lord is against Edom, against all their people. That includes the Russians. Right, go on.
Yep. And his purposes, that he had purpose against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate.
Now, the apostles and elders broke that down years ago. That means that the way that America is going to enter themselves into that war again and by drawn into that war through the Israeli state, that they going to muck about and start a regional war in the Middle East, the Valley of Jehoshaphat, if anyone wants to get that, right? And then that war is going to escalate and draw in all the different nations, man. And what's the end of that? The end of that ultimately is the complete destruction of America. You know, the perdition of America, man. And then we ain't gonna have to hear about Diddy no more, none of this bullshit, or MAGA and all this political foolishness that everybody's caught up in. That is hella annoying. Yeah, you got that?
Yeah. This one. Valley of Jehoshaphat. Well, yeah, got that here. It's Joel chapter 2.
Yeah, what happened?
It's Joel chapter 3, verse 2. I will also gather all nations. I will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is the Yahweh's judgment. That's what the word Jehoshaphat means, right? In Hebrew. I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
Right. These people are we're scattered among the nations, and the land has been parted among the heathen. Which you could go into that in Ezekiel the 36th chapter. It breaks down how the nations have all taken a part of our land. That's why you got the Lebanon. If I'm not mistaken, is that the Golden Heights?
Syria,
Or that Syria? One of the two. But when you really look at, if you look at the Promised Land, right, you will find that if you were to put the borders of the modern day nations onto it, all of these nations possess a part of the Promised Land into their possession. Now, then you had Palestine, which Palestine was originally being mainly inhabited by various Arabs and ethnic groups. We ain't gonna go into the mixed bag of ethnic groups that was there, right? And then Palestine became conquered by the British. So the British, it was called British Palestine. And then we know that then the British appointed land into the hands of the Israelis. And then they created this Israeli state, but that Israeli state didn't have the full Promised Land. So that's why they keep expanding, because they want the whole land. That's called the Greater Israel Project. They want the whole land in their possession. So basically, there's a struggle between Esau, Edom, and these other nations for the land of the Lord. So we just read it in the prophecy that the Israelites will be scattered, and then the land of Israel will be parted among the nations, among the heathen, and that's what they're fighting over right now.
But one after as well.
It's the book of Luke 21:24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
So that's going all the way back to 70 AD when our people were basically crushed in the land, man. And that's why this whole thing is, and it all makes sense when you understand the scriptures. But you see what the Esau Edom tried to pull a fast one. They tried to do the bait and switch, the JOO, the secret societies. They use their Christian pastors, the conservative pastors, to push this the Zionist, what's known as Christian Zionism. And under Christian Zionism, they believe that those people are the real Israelites, and that 1948 is a fulfillment of various prophecies in the scriptures of the Israelites being put back into the land. But there's all confusion in that, and that's why Volker Malone don't want to deal with it, because we could speak all the different confusions to do with that. Because first of all, if you're going to say it's a fulfillment of the Israelites going back into the land, then it needs to be all 12 Israel in the land. Then on top of that, then you need to have the political atmosphere that the scripture said there would be, meaning the monarchy. There's supposed to be a monarchy. There's supposed to be a monarchy. They're supposed to be keeping the laws. They're supposed to not be afraid of nobody. They're supposed to be
No war.
Yeah, all these different things. But you see, they ignore those parts of the prophecy because they're being intellectually dishonest. Then on top of that, right, you got the situation where these people are over there in the land. They don't really possess the fullness of the land either. But they've used this Christian Zionists to promote it. But then again, a Christian believes that Israel is the Israel of God. Replacement theology and dispensationalism. So this is why it's all confusing. When Volker Malone had them JOOs on his show October 7th, because they were doing their propaganda round, and he's an agent, so he had to have notice he only had one side of the story being told. So he had 3 different live streams with 3 different Israelis. And what did he say when he started the live stream? Well, we're not really going to talk about the prophecy. Yeah, no, let's not do that, because he knows the minute he starts having to go into prophecy, then we go and step in and start, yeah, but what about this? What about that? And it all falls apart. So he tried to focus on October 7th and let them man run their propaganda.
Like at the beginning of the things.
But then he ain't gone back to it since. So after you now had 20,000 children dead, 40,000. Vocab still doesn't want to deal with that situation. They're just going to say, well, it's Israel, they're God's chosen people,
right.
so we're supposed to just blindly agree with anything they do. So the number one supporter of the state of Israel is the Christian in America, the conservative Christian. Yeah? Yeah, the party, the land. Yeah. So they parted our land, they stole our land, man.
Yeah. We've got precepts on that
Yeah.
one, if I can.
Yeah.
It's near at the end. This is Amos 7 and 17. It says, therefore, thus saith Yahweh, thy wife shall be an harlot in the city, and thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword, and thy land shall be divided by line.
Yeah, when we were conquered as a people, going back to when this originally was said, that's what happens when you get conquered. Your women become prostitutes, the men get slain and enslaved, and then people take your possessions, they take your land and take it upon themselves. And that's what happened to our people. And that's what the Israelis are trying to do now. That's what this whole thing is all about. Oh, terrorism. It's not. They're finding a way so they can take more land for themselves. That's what this whole thing is about. Habakkuk, the second chapter.
They're done waiting. I'm going to take you by force now.
Yeah. They're finding a way to demonize the Arabs in order to justify an expansion so they could gain more land that they can sell or use to enrich themselves.
And that's something they, the Palestinians always complain about. They're always making more settlements, but they weren't supposed to be. You know?
Yep.
And it was like, oh, we're not really talking about kind of thing. And then you find another reason why you're going further into their territory. Yeah. Until them to move out. Move out. Because there's Hamas there or whatever.
It's the Greater Israel Project. And, drive them into the sea. That's what they're saying. And that goes back into what they did with the Native American Indians, the same concept. Yeah. They've constantly found a reason to colonize, to continue to expand their territory. And whether you want to say the word savage or whether you want to say the word terrorist, it's the same thing. Yeah. We've got to find a reason so that we can use our military force to destroy these people and claim more land. They're not looking for a compromise that brings peace.
You saw the Benjamin Bibi Netanyahu yesterday at the conference. He's like, yeah, we're winning and all that. Yeah. And the crowd was even booing him. His own people were booing him. Because they're like, you're full of shit, man. Yeah. You're stealing man's land. You're mercilessly killing people.
The two-state solution. The two-state solution has always been on the table. If they really wanted peace, they could have a two-state solution and normalize relations between the Arabs and the state of Israel, and it would be cool. But they don't want a two-state solution. And therein lies the arrogancy and the greed of Esau that's going to lead to his own destruction. Yeah. Because they want more. She wants more. No, not yet. Yeah.
But even because they had a ceasefire when that pandemic spread, all of a sudden they had a 30-day ceasefire.
That was with Hamas. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it went back to business as usual.
Yeah, they didn't even want the hostages. They like fuck the hostages because again, the elites that control the state of Israel don't care about actual Israeli citizens. They don't. They're expendable because the average Israeli citizen is just a slave anyway. Ultimately, they don't really own nothing over there. They have their own elite structure over there. They're not dying. They don't care if them hostages were getting, if they existed, if they were getting tortured and killed. But they will use them as an excuse to do what they're doing, which is to fulfill their agenda, gain more land and power.
Habakkuk 2 and 5. It says, I'll read from 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desires hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied.
And that's Esau. Esau is mainly the real nation that spread themselves all over the world and took lands. Now you could say, okay, let's talk about the Hamites now. Where is the Hamite nation in Asia? Where is the Hamite nation in Europe? Where is the Hamite nation in the Americas? No, Hamites pretty much live in Africa, but yeah, some of them, there's some Africans all over the place, but they don't own and control. They're not created any of nations or government. They work there. Niggas driving taxi. Niggas doing Uber. Uber taxi. There's a difference. Okay, immigrants. Let's look at the Moab. Okay, Moab did branch out, but locally. Where is the Moabite nation in Africa? Okay, you might say that they have investments in Africa, but show me the nation where they've changed the name, changed the language, and it's a bunch of Moabites there living there and they're running everything.
Their lords and their Jews.
What about Ammon? Okay, we could talk about the Japanese Korean Wars and the Japanese Empire, but again, that was local badness. Show me where they were over there in the Americas, and you got a Japanese country now. Show me. You can't. We could go through the list of all the nations.
Yeah.
The Arabs. Well, we know the Arabs ain't got nowhere. The most they did was North Africa.
Oh, yeah, no, it's that.
Like North Africa, but again, local badness. Middle East and Africa is about as far as they go with the whole thing. Yeah, and Bradistan. Well, that's what these Edomites try to make it look. They try to make it look like they're being invaded. Like these men come over here.
The case is still your guy, man.
But that's why the funny thing is that they're the worst immigrants ever. Because they go where other people went, change the borders, change the language. You got South Africa. Have you ever seen the South African cricket team? Rugby team? Right? They own everything over there pretty much. Right? So that's one country. And let's not forget that they reshaped the whole of Africa according to themselves. Yeah?
So they even named it after themselves.
Zimbabwe.
Where they got everyone in debt over there too.
Yeah.
So they control the nations through that way.
The whole of Africa is named after Edomite, man. Afrikaners.
Oh, let's talk about the Americas. Now, you got countries like what is it?
Argentina.
No. What's the one that
Falkland Islands.
Suarez is from?
Where?
Uruguay.
Uruguay is like 90% European.
Yeah, Spanish.
Like Uruguay is a Spanish country in America. If you didn't know that, it's a very small country, extremely racist, and it basically is a colony of a straight up colony of Spaniards that live there. Like, that's a fact. Yeah. Let's not forget most of the leaders and the people in South America are Edomites too. Brazil. I was watching the thing the other day. They said like the three most I have saved it on my Twitter actually. The Sao Paulo and the three #1 districts in Brazil are like 90% European.
Yeah.
So the ones that's really doing well in Brazil and got the money in that, it's basically a European country, right? You got America, which is the biggest example. When people think of America and they think of an American, they don't think of a Native American. They don't think of an African American. America is a white country.
Yeah, that's why everyone else is prefixed.
Prefix, yeah. Canada, the same thing.
Yeah. Australia as well.
So if you look at it, the people that's really gone over the earth and really set up shop everywhere is really the Edomites, but they're the ones that are complaining about immigration the most. Yeah, go on.
What you said about renaming. So Psalm 49:11, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own name.
And that's why I don't care how they build a house. They'll build a house by any means because they don't understand that. Listen, there's a judgment for that. Woe unto him that buildeth a city with blood. They think they could do that and get away with it.
Esau don't respect boundaries, man.
That's what I've got.
Remove it. Yeah, let's get that. Yeah.
Habakkuk 2 and I'll jump down to verse 6. So shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his.
How do you increase that which is not yours? By stealing. And every nation on this earth accuses Esau of stealing.
Yeah.
Universally across the board, no matter what nation there is, he stole.
They're doing it right now.
They're doing it right now in front of everyone's eyes. Yeah. And you're right. The whole situation with the Palestinians is no different to what they did to the Native American Indians. It's absolutely no different. That was on a bigger scale, but it's the same principle. Replace the word savage with terrorist, and it's the same playbook. Same exact playbook. And then when the man fight back against it, they demonize you even more.
Yeah, and it gives them even more right to
even more right
more extreme
to go over the top.
That's why they went and bombed the Lebanese and took my man out. They said they took out the Hezbollah leader.
Yep.
Up into 6 hours.
That man said, he killed 10 white women, and the man gonna kill 50,000. You know what I mean? Like that's how Esau is. It shows you he's Cain. But then Vocab Malone ain't gonna say nothing about that. That's why he's quiet, because the whole world can see that what they've done is disproportionate to what happened to them.
Yeah. They keep saying October the 7th.
Bro, like 40,000 people later, he's still going on about that. So how many men you have to kill before the scales of justice is balanced?
That was one day, and now we've got a whole year of war. Yeah.
But then when Jake does that on the street, they're just animals. You know how the thing go with Jake already. I'm from the tribe of Benjamin. I'm telling you about Benjamin. Like Benjamin don't believe in life for life. You know that. Man will go shut up. Man will go shut up the whole place, like. Yeah, man. Them man say, oh, what you killed? I was watching one thing, the Chadiga Park massacre. Man killed like 1-2 dudes. Man said, nah, when you go over there, you better don't come back at least till 10 man are dead. Like them man don't care. Them man will just go through man, woman, child, casualties, like, and then man will say, oh my God, these people are monsters. They're animals. These man kill 40,000 people.
It's nothing.
That's what's that times? You put like they said 1,700, but most of them were killed by the Israeli military. I think it came down.
Hannibal Directive, I think they call it.
Yeah,
Hannibal Directive.
yeah. They were just bombing and shelling where they knew their own people was at. But let's say they run up to 2,000 Israeli died, right? But 40,000 Palestinians have now died. How many times is that? That's like 2,000. I'm trying to do the numbers.
20 times.
20 times.
20 times.
How's that justice? How do you balance that in the scale of justice?
And now it's like we've got to take out the whole of Hamas at any cost.
Yeah.
At any
Hiding
cost.
under the hospital.
It's
bro.
disproportionate.
But it's like the war on terror. It's an ongoing thing. It's gonna keep rolling and rolling. You can't really get rid of your enemy because you're making more enemies as you're going along.
Yeah.
So they know it's a perpetual thing that they started, man. You know.
It's disproportionate. If you did that on the streets, yeah, man was straight up do. If someone came and say someone shot my brother, and I went to the guy's house and I killed his whole family, that man would say you're a monster.
That ain't gonna end.
You go into court and then you couldn't. Well, he killed my brother. Man, be like, bro, you killed everyone in the house. So that wasn't self-defense. That's not. That's not. You know, that's not. That's disproportionate.
Now you got man's uncles and that wanted to come get you, man.
Yeah, you've gone over the top. Now they're gonna throw away the key. But when Esau's doing it, it's okay. And vocab, we're waiting for you to comment on this. We want to hear your take because you said love thy neighbor, turn the other cheek, all this business.
It's telling great.
Would you finish in Habakkuk?
No, yeah.
Yeah, 1 second. Real calm.
I start from verse 7. Habakkuk 2 and 7. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake thee and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them.
And ultimately, that's gonna happen with these Israelis because they're doing too much, man. Like the brother just said, they've been licking off leaders, and they look like they're preparing for a ground invasion. But eventually, these nations are gonna say enough is enough, man. Man are tired of the same old, same old. Esau just doing what he wanna do, abusing people, and just gaslighting, man. Like it's not like the elite level gaslighting. Well, they will be the victim. It's like, oh, huh? You're the victim? Just gaslighting everyone. Yes, we want peace. Meanwhile, you're doing things which obviously won't bring peace.
Yeah.
You kill someone's leader. You think they're not going to negotiate peace with you?
How many other leaders are they killed now, man?
Yeah,
Keep killing off their leaders, and there's no major retaliations. Like.
blowing up pages randomly. Man's in the supermarket with his kids and his page is blowing up. How's that not terroristic action?
You're asking for it, man.
But
When it comes, you can't complain. You know,
but they will.
Yeah, they're gonna say, oh, they're gonna victimize and all that shit again. But you deserve it, man. Everything that's coming to you. That's why the whole land that Israel, that land needs to be cleansed, man. Because it's like totally defiled. You know, under the inhabitants thereof. And America, you know, they're gonna get provocation. They're gonna jump in that third world war. They're gonna back Israel, and then they're gonna get their asses blasted to hell and back as well.
Well, this all goes to show also that these men are not the true people of the Lord. Because the land of Israel is meant to be at peace, and there's nothing but atrocities after atrocities going on in that place, man.
Well, they're running from. You know, they've got outward flow of people now because they're running from the land.
And they're scared. You're not meant to be scared. You know what I'm saying?
Jumping
They're skipping out.
Habakkuk 2 and 8. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein.
Right, because of men's blood. These Edomites, man, they've just been on a mad one for a very long time.
And this is like centuries of it. It's not like a decade or two or, you know, one span in history. This is ongoing, man. This is centuries of war and just like straight up mass murdering, colonizing, stealing people's resources, like forever, man. And you're just non-stop. You're proud. The scripture says that you'll be more stout than your fellows, man. You're proud. You look down upon other nations, because you're the top guys, and you know Edomites on top of all that. But you gotta pay, man. You gotta get a taste of your own medicine, man. When it comes, you're not gonna like it, man. It's gonna taste bitter to you.
Okay, precept. 25 and verse. I'm gonna stop in verse 5 here, right? Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of the calamity, in the time that their iniquity has an end.
Yeah, the main nation you got a perpetual hatred against, which you're coming against right now, sooner rather than later, is the nation of Israel, the 12 tribes, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. That's why after the elections, whatever happens, you know, that civil unrest is going to break out. The main catalyst of that, basically, you're going to be focusing on the tribes. That's why you're calling out the Venezuelans and the Haitians and so on. You're going to be concentrating on the northern and the southern kingdom in the time of Jacob's trouble.
Yeah, because a lot of these, well, for some reason, I'm on that side of Twitter, and the big propaganda among Edomites is these nations are failing, and it's failing because of Jake. You know, Jake and the heathen attached to that. You know, basically anyone that's not Edomite is failing because of them. Like they're bringing their federal problems here, and you know this foolishness. You know, but you don't see them on the comment boards when their people are doing madness in the street, doing all this craziness. But you know, that's what they, and especially in America, there's a large group of Edomites in America that they see you so-called Negroes as the problem, and the pandering to you as a problem. They see you as like a cancer in their society that needs to be cut out in a violent manner, rooted out. You know, and that sentiment is growing. It's not getting smaller, it's growing among the people. You know, and Esau's even gaslighting them more and more. They hate being called racist for it. They're just like, yo, we just want to come out with it like it is. We're tired of these dudes running up. They see you dudes running up into stores. You know, shooting people over ketchup and and all kind of madness. And you Jake, make it easy because you videotape every foolishness you do and upload it online. And these Edomites are watching that, thinking, damn.
They got a whole website dedicated to that.
World Star Hip Hop, yeah.
It's about niggerism, man.
And if you go on the comment boards, most of those comments are Edomites. They're like, hey, what do you expect? You know, the animals. You know, so like that time of Jacob's trouble, man, believe me, these Edomites, the worse things get, the more they're looking for someone to blame. Just like here in the UK. These Edomites here are so down bad because we're gonna do a video on it. Britain is basically one of the, like, out of all the nations that was at the top, they've been hit the worst. They like down bad. These Edomites and Edomites too, especially Edomites outside London, they're down all the way back. They're finished out here. They ain't got jobs. You know, they turn on the TV, it's just niggas on the TV doing all the jobs. They hurt. And so their hatred has to be put somewhere. And they're really trying to use Tommy, people like Tommy Robinson, to blame all their hatred on immigrants, Muslims, and blacks. And they actually believe it. They believe like we get everything free, we can commit unlimited crime and nothing will happen to us. And they believe all this stuff. Like they believe we're invading their country. We don't make no laws, but we're invading the country and we're taking over, and it's insane. But you could see a situation could happen where those people can be used to commit violence. You know, and we saw a little taste of that with them little skirmishes that will happen.
Verse 6 is the point I want to get at, right? So therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, power Yahweh, I'll pay thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Right? Because you're out here taking, Esau's taking so much blood and lives from the planet. You don't think that's going to return onto you? Of course it is, man.
Everyone has to pay, man. It says them that sow wickedness reap the same. And you've been the worst out of all the nations. That's why the scriptures call you the basest, man. You're violent in the earth. Because out of all these nations, they've all had their time to rule in the earth. And you just taking it to a whole nother level. And then on top of that, you blaspheme the Heavenly Father and His Son. Try to, paint your face as the image of the Heavenly Father and His Son, man. You know,
And then try to gaslight the rest of the world like you're
Yeah.
the most civilized people that ever exist.
all that.
And everyone else is savage and violent and
Exactly.
unreasonable, but you're just this elf, man. Like
Yeah.
you're flipping Legolas and them, man, right? It's fucking crazy. Like you're angel because the elves are
Yeah.
supposed to be angelic beings,
Like
innit? But
being
higher
cool.
form of beings, like
They don't have jealousy and all this kind of thing.
like, bro, you man are the orcs, man. You're engines of war. You're Sauron. What's the Sauron's man, them.
in disguise, and
Sauron and Morgog, man. That's how you man are.
you got that black blood in it. You should act like you're normal.
But they rolling with the one eye.
Yeah. Exactly. No, real talk.
Yeah, go on, man.
He wants all the power. He wants all the rings. Like, he wants the
Gaslight.
9 rings. He wants all the power and all that. You know.
Blacks, that's how violent. They did their knives, and then they go watch fucking Game of Thrones or some shit and
Even-
celebrate that.
It's true because even in that the new Lord of the Rings, Sauron, he's in disguise as a saint.
Yeah.
Really
The elf,
a demon. You know what I'm saying? He's got the black blood in that, and he's putting people in hypnotism, making them think something's happening that's not happening.
Right,
While the war's going on, he's gaslighting them. Yeah. And he's trying to take over. He's making the orcs fight against, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he can take over the kingdom and that.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
a
that's
demon,
crazy.
bro. That's Esau.
Deceiver.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's meant to be a
Oh,
great
man,
deceiver.
right?
That's Esau for you,
That's
man.
Esau, man.
Netanyahu, man. He's Sauron.
Man tried to warn him and say that's Sauron, and then like no one believed
Boy, they had
him.
him. He was like a bugger.
Yeah.
They made him look like he's a bugger. They didn't believe what he was saying.
Yeah.
You know.
But didn't he try to say the guy that was working for him was he tried to tell the woman?
He tried to
Yeah,
tell the
yeah,
woman,
yeah,
he's
thinking
like,
that they don't believe you.
and then he chopped off the fucking roof.
Esau.
She chopped dead.
That's the spirit of Esau right there. For real.
That's Esau, man, the greatest deceiver on the earth.
Yeah.
And it says that in Revelations 20, man, after he came out of the caves of South Georgia, Russia, they said that he was going to be that short season that he was going to be able to deceive the nations again.
Well, even in Lord Reeves again, right? Even Celebrimbor, when he found out that he was Sauron, he's like, you really are the deceiver.
Yeah.
And even to the point you even deceived yourself.
Yeah.
Because you know, he caught up in his own,
Yeah,
his own his perception of things. You know, because you think everyone else is evil, but that's you. You're the
You're the master manipulator, man.
Yeah,
Everything was cool.
you know, you brought it
So
on
you
yourself. What do you mean?
Everything was
But
fun.
they were trying to prevent the shit from happening.
What you said, this is Obadiah 1 and 3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Yeah. And thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Everybody else is not the problem. It's you.
man.
You're the problem.
You're the cancer of the earth.
Well, we know that because it's on record that the CIA and their intelligence agency, they're the ones creating all the disturbances and the coups
They pay for it.
and the wars and all these different things. Esau he's created a lot of chaos in the earth that the average person doesn't want to accept.
Yeah.
He is directly responsible for so much of the chaos and the bloodshed that's been in the earth in the last 500 years.
Yeah.
He is directly responsible. Remember, they watch James Bond and they think that MI6's job is to go around stopping bad things from happening. So childish. No, they destabilize countries, man. They assassinate and kill people. They undermine nations because they can only live in a world where everyone else is undermined to strengthen themselves.
Yeah.
They don't live in a world where they're trying to uplift other people. Esau can't operate on that level. He's a sadist. He has to. I was watching a thing on a crack cocaine interview with a Jake on crack, man. I was like, man, that crack was so demonic. But Esau admittedly is the one that was setting it up.
Yeah. War on drugs.
And that whole drug crack thing destroyed Jake. That was like you take a fucking sledgehammer and just take it to a man's leg. He'll never play again. You know what I mean? Like, he'll never play again.
It was a turning point for our people.
It was a mad turning point. Even the effects of that crack era can still be seen today. Not only with the drug dealer culture, the drug dealer which directly linked into the street gang culture.
Music and all that.
Because it was that crack, because there was always gangs, but it turned the gangs even more violent, man, more demented, more demonic, man. The whole crack house thing. Then you got the children of the crackheads, the environment it created. It's still affecting Jake to this very day.
Yeah.
Well, guess who was behind all that? Sauron, aka your boy Esau, man, with a suit on TV talking about, it's the war on drugs. We need to have a war on drugs. Then he stuck a bunch of Jakes in jail for drug offenses, and they're not even violent. But people think they're violent. But really, they're not in there for violence. Most of Jake are not in prison for violence.
But then when these Edomites got, now they're strung up on meth and all of these hard
It's a
drugs.
medical crisis.
It's a medical crisis. And that documentary 13 went into how you'd have Edomite from affluent neighborhoods coming into those Jake neighborhoods to get drugs,
Yeah,
and
all
then
the
nothing
Jakes
would
are-
happen.
lining up.
Yeah, no,
Lining
nothing
up.
would happen to
Yeah,
them.
Of course, nothing with that.
Nothing.
But we're gonna pretend that's not the case. We're gonna pretend that Esau's a civilized guy. He just wants to help everybody, and he can't understand why these niggas can't just get right. Nah, man, we're not gonna play them games. We are gonna get right, by the way,
Yeah.
but you're gonna get wrong. Trust me. Go on.
Justice.
It's the book of Psalms 50 and the 16. But unto the wicked Mosiah says, what art thou to do to declare my statute? Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou it is instruction, and casting my word beyond thee.
Right, these Edomites, man, pretended like they believe in the Bible, Christian Christian values. Like this guy Nick Fuentes, which is probably an agent.
Yeah,
But you know, I listen to Nick, yeah, because he's
Yeah.
funny, man, and sometimes he's on point. But he likes to be this whole thing about Christian America and we're Christians. It's like, bro, when did you start being Christians? When did you start being Christians?
What does that mean?
Yeah, like when did you start living by the principles? And then the other day he did a video like, oh, actually we love winter. Winter is a white people's time. And what did he say? Because you got Halloween and you got fucking Christmas. I said Halloween. I thought you said you guys are fucking Christians. Showing you they're insane. These people are insane. Like what does Halloween have to do? Well, I know brothers gonna say, yeah, that's good Christianity. I'm saying they say Christianity is to do with the Bible. So what does Halloween got to do with that? Showing you Edomites have always been wrong-uns, man. You ain't never been righteous. You ain't never turned the other cheek. The reason you did Wounded Knee was as a revenge, and those are unarmed people, by the way, revenge for a battle you lost the year previous against the same Indians. But I thought the Bible said you're supposed to turn the other cheek.
love thy neighbor.
Love thy neighbor. But no, you were. Oh, hold on, wait. The biggest one. Vengeance is mine. You know how they like, oh, you Hebrew Israelites, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. Where was all that Wounded Knee?
Mm.
Since you might know the scripture so well, since you're the people of God, it seems to me that you got it all figured out till it's time to apply what the scriptures say. Then all of a sudden you just want to do what you want to do, but still want to act like you're like an A-star student in the scriptures, like.
Then it's manifest destiny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it's manifest destiny.
You know. I just want to finish this off.
Yeah, go on, man.
Yeah. Ezekiel 35 and verse 6 again. So therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. So if thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
They don't hate blood. Esau's never hated the idea of busting a head. And they still don't. That's why Volcam Malone, you do not have a problem with what the Israelis are doing over there to them Palestinians and to them peoples. Because the Christian Bible says this. Turn the other, if a man, what do you say? The Lord said, if a man strike you on one cheek, turn and give him the other cheek. They're not using that principle over there. The scripture says to love thine enemies. They're not using that principle because they know this. I'm just saying, this is all the stuff they throw at us because we bring out some scriptures and we preach. We ain't kill no one. Oh, you guys are going to hell.
Yeah.
You guys hate.
Curse. He swears love not worketh no ill to his neighbor.
So what are them man doing over there? Surely you need to address that. People are actually dying. Christians are dying. There's Palestinian Christians dying. Volcap don't care about all that though.
We'll actually be like, hey, being pacifists.
Yeah.
And you know, you're the opposite of that.
We ain't killed not one person. And we don't intend to. Not in this kingdom anyway.
Yeah, I was trying to tell the Volcab saying all the Edomites are done away with. But BB said that they want to kill all the Amalek. Yeah? So that means
You gotta
he's
take
also
switching
the
away.
right. Who's Amalek, man?
What's his name was bringing out a whole bunch of scriptures. When he heard about the pager thing, he started laughing and all that stuff. Which you allowed to laugh at your enemies now like that? And then he was bringing up what's his name? Ben Shapiro. And he was bringing out all these scriptures about laughing, you know the scriptures, dancing in the enemy's blood. And I'm like, hold on, when we bring them scriptures out, they said that's the Old Testament and that. But he brought out scriptures from the Old Testament, he's bringing out scriptures from the New Testament, and I didn't see Volcap Malone come and say, well, love thy neighbor. He could just do that. But we bring out some scriptures like Hebrew hopscotch and we're hate preachers. But he can hate them Palestinians and because they're terrorists.
Yeah, but even then, that wasn't even. That was Hezbollah like that. So that's a completely even different country.
Yeah, well, they could find a way to say that.
It's the same. That's all the same.
You know, I saw them at the mall together. So they're just, fucking devils, man. Go on,
It's like, thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out and him that returneth. I will fill his mountains with slain men, in thy hills and in thy valleys, and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. I will make thee perpetual desolation, and thy city shall not return, and ye shall know that I am the Lord.
and that begins with America. Those great cities that they built over there in America, they're gonna be completely destroyed, man. Your the beautiful thing is you keep talking about we built civilization. That's fine. But your civilization is gonna come to an end.
You built a civilization. There's been others before yours. Better. You know?
Yeah, but you know Esau, man.
But just like then they had faults in them, right? Even though they might have been better, they still had faults in them, and the Lord brought them down. It's your turn, man.
Bro, the peak of your civilization is giving a man a vagina.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You guys are clowns. Fuck out of here, man. Yeah, bring the precepts, man.
This is Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And
this is all part of their plan. You had that letter by Albert Pike and all that, the 3 world wars. This has always been a plan of the wicked and evil, right? To destabilize different state. Just Sora, Dharma. One of them niggas. Yeah, to destabilize governments and all that. It says that in the letter, three world wars on Albert Pike. It says that they were going to destabilize certain areas, the Middle East and all that, so they can take over. It's all about that new world order agenda, man. That's what it's all about.
Exhausting the people, spiritually, and you know, all of that.
You know, which ain't about righteousness, man. The Edomites ain't never about righteousness. The world could, if you had a different vibration, you did have the power and the resources to do things different. You chose not to, man.
You chose violence.
You chose violence. That's what it is, man. And now it's returning back to you. Yeah. You're pointing the finger. And the thing is, what's happening to you ain't nothing even compared to what you did.
No.
Yeah. This is the most, like, it just irks me when I hear you, man, complaining about immigration. Yeah. It's like, there's no one, like, what's it? Did man come here and tell you, make you, like, speak their language or something?
No one's invading you.
No one's doing nothing to you, bro. Man came here and working, or even if a man came and command, no one's committing more crimes than you in another man's land.
They're really bettering your economy.
Yeah,
they're keeping your economy going. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
100%. Yeah. Also, as we shared the graphics and the data, it's like when you look at like the UK and just even the fact that people here ain't having choice, the immigrants, and those immigrants then are the ones that are going to be propping up the economy because old people can't work. They're a drain on the economy.
Yeah.
That's why Starmer said he's getting rid of that pension thing scheme.
He's coming back now.
It's coming back.
Yeah. Found some money in it.
They're always the one that's gonna, just like with the whole CV thing, they're the ones that get affected the worst, man. The old age pensioners and that. They get it the worst because he's basically trying to get rid of the use and use.
And that's why you're getting, if they want immigrants of a certain age in this country, those are the working people.
Working class.
All your systems are destroyed. The education system, health system, and like you can't blame no one but yourself because you're the one that's been in control, and that's the beautiful thing. You really ain't got no one else to blame because you've been in power. These are your plans. You destroying your own society.
Yeah.
No one ain't decided. Ain't no Negroes got together in some room somewhere and said, "Yeah, we're gonna fuck up the health system." Like, you did that.
Not really forced our way in.
Yeah.
You invited us in. You know, you invited immigrants in. Not like you when you went to America. You forced your way in.
Forced your way in, man.
You actually did invade,
and you messed up. You properly messed up man's lives. Anyway, go on.
Control the whole nation.
It's just hypocrisy when you see these men complaining the way they're doing, and then at the one hand they want to get all the credit for what they've built, but on the other hand they want to blame everyone for what they've built. It's just like, well, take some responsibility, Esau. Right?
Hey, but that's Cain. That's Cain for you. No responsibility,
no accountability, man.
None.
It's my brother's keeper.
When your kingdom goes down, the only person to blame is yourself.
Isn't it? But even then, he's still going to be proud. It says that in Revelation.
The scripture says
still be like blaspheming and talking shit. When you're the problem, you're the reason that your whole kingdom's falling apart anyway, because you're wicked, man.
The wicked is snared by the working of their own hands. This is all your fault. You know, you have to hold that L, man.
There's and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. They oppress a man in his house.
None of these immigrants came and took houses. They were given houses. You gave them houses.
Yes.
Your government, your leaders gave them houses. You know, you actually, run up in America, run up in all these different continents on the planet, and just destroy and settle yourself.
Like the
You
whole
know?
Venezuelan situation. Why are they coming over the border? Because you destabilize their whole fucking situation over there in Venezuela. Man.
And I heard a lot of this shit is fake too. It's not even real. Man that live in them areas, like, we don't know what them man are talking about. Just like the
Yeah,
Haitian
the
thing
news
with
and all
the
that.
cat
Yeah,
thing.
the cat
It turned out the thing was just
No,
bullshit,
it's bullshit, yeah. Propaganda. Yeah, that's what Issa's good at, using the media to propaganda things.
But it's to
Okay,
give this
narrative.
image that, oh, immigrants are coming into America and they're the reason. You know, it's not all the deindustrialization that your elites did. Them gutting your economy and it ain't nothing to do with that. It's not all the Hollywood destroying the social structure of the families, and I'm sure that ain't got nothing to do with what's happening in America. It's all because the Haitians came and they brought their third world fucking ways with them. Come on, man. Fucking,
That's what the whole manifesto.
you sent the factories up to China, mate.
Yeah.
You sent the factories across the border to Mexico, mate. You love them iPhones? Where them iPhones made?
You know what I find funny as well, though? It's all right when they're blaming immigrants or, you know, whatever, and they're throwing out there where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Or, you know, they're Haitians or they're this, they're from Venezuela. But anytime you want to point your finger at a small hat about what they're doing, nah, you can't do that. Yeah, you can't do that.
You can never be blamed.
Nothing's their fault. Even though they're running all the, always saying all the Hollywood, Disney destroying your children.
Yeah.
You can't point at those things.
Yeah.
Because who runs that shit? Yeah, the thing you can't name. But hey, someone with the guy you can't. No, that's Voldemort. He should not be named. But didn't he also have a?
Yeah.
No. He
He
tried
to hide it.
he cut it off because incognito. Wow.
And now you got the situation where the ports are going to start closing down, and they're
There's
going to have
strike.
strikes and all that. So that's going to add to more tensions, man. More who they're going to blame for that now. You know what I'm saying? It's just an ongoing thing, man. And then they're basically just showing how America's just falling, man. That's all it is. America's not going to be made great again, man.
Yeah, who was out there was Brexit.
Exactly.
You know, who set up the
people.
the Steve thing. The Britons fucked because not just because of that. It's been a long list of decisions that Edomites have made. Not flipping.
Cameron,
Not the man from Brixton.
Average citizen.
And this is the issue. It's not man from Brixton, some yardie in Brixton on some jerk chicken thing that made these wider decisions that destroy the British economy. Britain could still have coal. They could still have cheap energy.
Yeah.
It weren't no man from Brixton like North Star, John North Star, man, have to shut down the coal plant. Them and that. Yeah? Yo, call up Margaret Thatcher, tell her. My man in Brixton didn't give a damn about no coal. You did that. You deindustrialized the North. You did that.
You never recovered.
You never recovered. And then Brexit, you voted for that. You did that. You didn't have to.
Even expats in foreign and European countries were voting for Brexit.
Yeah.
And they're living in
You
Spain.
did that.
And
And then when the C-19 come, who made the decision to keep the population at home and fuck up the economy even more? It weren't my man Rocky.
Boris.
It weren't Teddy Ruckshot. It weren't no Jake anywhere that made it. It was Boris and them smart Edomite man that did all that and mash up the economy. And then now you want to blame the immigrants. Go on,
Shut down.
So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye do haughtily. For this time is evil.
And that's what's coming down the pipeline, and people don't realize that this thing ain't gonna turn around and end up like in the Act 3. You know, you go from the low point and then you finish on a nice, nice high point. No, it's just gonna be a low point. For you Edomites, this is a tragedy. This is one of them films you leave the cinema, they're like, oh, no, sure. I don't really feel like that was messed up, man. It didn't end right. I really thought man was gonna make it. You know, and it ain't gonna be one of them Wolverine send-offs either, where he died, but you're like, okay, yeah, it was all right. No, this is gonna be one of them ones where it's like, tragedy. You Edomites are about to go down in a bad way, and it's playing out before you. There's only evil coming down the pipeline for you. Really, the good times are already gone. Your middle class, your middle class is getting rapidly destroyed. So all you Edomites that managed to make your way up the ladder, you're being backhanded back down anyway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, socially you're all messed up. You're getting the divorce rates. Your children are murdering each other, murdering their parents. You're having all kind of problems.
Real quick. Even with like the British Empire, when they conquered like when the British Empire all conquered Africa and the wider Asiatic region, they basically called themselves the Protectorate. Which, when you go into the meaning of the word Protectorate, it basically means the protectors of like. They basically call themselves the protectors of the different regions that they conquered. And you used to have like a region of Africa used to be literally called British East Africa, which included Kenya, Uganda, Zanzibar. Then you had British West Africa, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, all controlled by the British.
And they was basically just there to take.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. They were there to take. They never really built those places up. And then after they left, they made sure that they destroyed them to make sure that, like we can always keep them in this weakened position. Just like Jamaica. They make sure they keep Jamaica in the same weakened position so they can control them. And then they ended up freeing the world boss.
Hey, well, Esau was taking so much from everybody. He was, stealing everything. They would even, end up fighting against each other. For the spoil. The French, the British, that's all in prophecy, by the way. And the Spanish, they was all fighting over all the lands that they'd taken over, man. The Americans and that. They've gone around the whole world. It's not a joke. Esau has actually got around the whole fucking world, man, and it's taken for everyone.
Bro, to the point that when they stopped making money for free, they fell apart. Because they're like, if you look at Spain, right, one of the reasons why Spain hasn't done so well is because the main way Spain was doing well was through getting stuff for free, basically. They had all these colonies. So back in Spain, they didn't have to do much because gold and money and resources was coming in. Once that colonistic period ended, it was like, well, what do we do now? And that's why they went downhill, because they themselves wasn't worth anything. It was because they were getting all that free gold. Because they don't have the human capital. It was all the stuff was getting done over there. Esau ain't worth nothing, man. He's just
Even what is it? Well, there used to be a thing called the Haitian independence debt from France, which was in 1852. France demanded that Haiti pay 150 million francs to France in exchange for diplomatic recognition.
Still, who needs to be recognized? But this is the thing, because you run the world, right? You have that gate. You need to do anything in this world, you gotta go for Esau.
So what they basically wanted was free money, because again, these empires was just living off conquering and getting these resources for free and cheap. They were not industrious of their own self. They couldn't have got to the position they've got to of their own intelligence, their own hard work, their own resources. They had to increase themselves by that which wasn't theirs. And the minute that starts to get cut off, you start seeing actually these men are not really as effective or as efficient or as prolific as they claim to be. They were living off the welfare they were receiving from the easy money they were getting off these nations.
Because these nations were full of resources. They had all the wealth there, but they wanted to take what wasn't theirs. What's going on in France?
They were living above their means.
Europe is the bottomless pit. There's fuck all going on in Europe really like that, man. Africa and South America and North, they had all the resources.
Yeah, they still do.
Even that 1.5 mil francs in 1825 is today equivalent to 47,696,000 pounds, basically.
Sounds like a poverty case, man. I'm begging Haiti.
They used that to build the Eiffel Tower as well.
That's what you do with your money, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like something.
Witchcraft.
I got one. Oh no, you read it actually.
Proud statement.
Yeah, Esau's not all that, man. And that's why, people are gonna look back at his age and realize that he wasn't really all that. He was just a bully that had a mechanism to rule over the people, but it wasn't sustainable.
He had the sword.
The sword.
That's his blessing, right?
But he wasn't really that smart, because someone that intelligent wouldn't really be destroying their own kingdom.
Like even when you look at like the spelling bee champions or the maths team champions, it's always just like some Elamites, some Moabites, some immigrants.
Why would you destroy your own kingdom? Like, I think that's smart to do. Or that Abkeo. He's a fucking idiot, man. That's why the scripture says, "I take it the wise in their own craftiness." Why would you destroy your own education system, destroy your own healthcare system? Why would you do that? That's stupid. Oh no, it just means smart because then we can do. Bro, then you're gonna go just to go into perdition where you belong, man. Waste, man. You think in the kingdom we're gonna do that? Oh,
Yeah.
how can we fuck up our own
Plan our own
education
demise
system?
and all that. Like, yeah, why
Yeah,
would
so
you
that
do
we
that?
could get this, and after we've destroyed everything, we could do this.
That's not wisdom.
Just build it. Anyway, go on now. You guys just demons, man.
That's why it says wisdom and knowledge and wickedness is not wisdom, man. Because that's what Esau uses. The wisdom that he got, he used it to pervert himself. That's why the Lord said he put a perverse spirit, perverse leaders. You know, they're not. They're the wisdom that they're using is corrupted, man. And that's why they're destroying their own empire, man. No, then they're gonna blame everyone else but except themselves.
It's the book of Revelation 6:4. And there went out another horse.
Because when you look at it in the history, what other kingdom on the earth ever
Actively,
done their own demise?
yeah,
Yeah.
actively undermine themselves.
Yeah, who's done that? Like the Babylonians, they were chilling. You know, they were chilling. They got taken over by the Persian and the Medes, man. You know, by their own doing or whatever.
He was
But they got
taking over himself.
That's what it's self-consumed.
trying to do his own movie.
There was no need for it. Like I said, there was in terms of I see this guy Elon Musk talking about solar panels. Man, it's all about, listen, man, it's not viable, man. You need electricity, and you have to produce electricity in a manner that meets the requirements, right? And sometimes you got high and low. Solar panel can't do that. You can't. Oh, we need more power, and then your solar panels will just all of a sudden produce more power for you. But if you got a coal plant, you can increase the production quickly.
And that's why I also sent you that thing about hailstones destroy solar panels.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
And I don't think you can recycle them either. So the same people are saying about, we need to recycle more. They want to cover the world with these things that can't be recycled and that break when
But
they're bad weather.
What they're doing with this, they're finding a way to wind down life.
Yeah.
Because basically, when you really break it down, the reason they're switching over to a form of energy production that really can't meet the needs of energy production now is they're in a roundabout way telling you that you motherfuckers ain't gonna be here. So we ain't gonna need all the energy we need right now. That's basically what they're showing you, and people are so dumb they can't see it. They're voting for it. They're basically telling you we're about to downsize everything. And you're gonna be.
But these things are just implementing these things, bringing them into the world is killing off people. Yeah, because destroying man's jobs, getting people cooked on all kinds of things, and they're destroying themselves slowly but surely. That's what's happening. You know, so it's stuck at double. It's working double time in a way. You know, he's so good at making things efficient in ways of death.
Yeah, because Europe, they can't really places like Germany, they can't compete with the rest of the world simply because of their energy costs. And it's like, okay, then.
So Granny's got to die in winter.
Yeah. Well, I guess some Haitian must have come and destroyed all the energy. No, we did. Well, hold on. You shut down your own
Nuclear
power plants?
Yeah.
And now you can't compete?
That's a
Yeah, good, man.
Wait, you had one.
And the Germans ain't stupid. That's why a lot of them are thinking, like, we've shot ourselves in the foot here. Like, what's happening?
They had a good trade with Russia, and now they can't do
fucked
trade with
that
Russia.
up. Can't get gas from Russia now over Ukraine, and who really cared? Who really cared whether Ukraine was independent or with Russia? As far as everyone was concerned, the Ukrainians were Russians. When man talk about, let's be honest, when man were talking about Usyk, for years, or the Klitschko brothers, man was calling them Russians. I'm sure they speak fucking Russian. Like, so why is Europe fucking up themselves over Ukraine? It's like, who cares? Like,
but you want to sanction Russia for invading Crimea and protecting the people, or whatever, right? But like, you don't mind the British selling weapons to Yemen and Saudi Arabia, destroying who?
It don't make no sense, man. Them man don't care about Ukraine like that. No one even thought about Ukraine before. Man don't even know where Ukraine is, like, you know what I'm saying? But all of a sudden, the Europe is destroying their whole economy over Ukraine. Come on, it doesn't make sense.
It wasn't worth it.
Go on,
You want to read yours first, bro? Okay. So Psalm 7:15, he made a pit and digged it and is fallen into the ditch which he made.
And that's on so many levels. The actual wickedness they've done has to come back to them. But even these plans that they're bringing forth, the New World Order plans, is a pit they're digging for themselves.
Yep.
Because there, here it is. World War III is literally the Lord's trigger to come back and destroy them. And they're like, yeah, we need to start World War III. It's that, brother. Like, what are you doing?
Impending doom.
You're ushering in your own destruction. Like, you're like rolling out the red carpet for your Havashai to return.
Yes. Yep.
Insane.
We're supposed to be doing the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are insane, man.
His mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealing shall come down on his own plate.
Like, you tried to build yourself an everlasting kingdom off the blood, sweat, and tears of the Israelites. But guess what? We gonna build an everlasting kingdom off your blood, sweat, and tears,
Which you're gonna have no part.
which you're gonna have no part in. And you ain't gonna be around and say we built this kingdom, because you're gonna be dead. We're gonna build a whole kingdom of your hard work.
Yeah.
And we ain't gonna give you no credit because you don't deserve it.
Who have made no account of thy labors.
Yeah. What's that? Isaiah 60?
Yeah.
The sons of strangers shall build up that. You Edomites are gonna build our kingdom. And I mean it on a real level. I'm talking about just because we got
The old way.
Hey, we
shall
talk about
return to the old
sustainability,
ways.
right?
Yeah, that's right.
Ground up.
we're gonna go. It's a dark sea, that dark sea. We shall do it the old way. Yeah, you Edomites are gonna be like our human. You wanted to turn everyone else into a human resource. We're gonna turn you into the ultimate human resource, man. And guess what? It's gonna be worse than it is now because you ain't gonna have no human rights.
No union, no welfare.
You ain't gonna have no union. You ain't gonna have no Friday night.
Happy hour.
You ain't gonna have no alcohol.
Yeah.
No, you're gone.
No,
You're just gonna
no
be
armies, no,
nothing. You're gonna have no hope.
Mm.
You ain't gonna have no, because we ain't gonna give you no religion.
because we've had none. We've had none in your world. The only hope we've had is in the scriptures, and you try to take that away
No,
from us.
they ain't gonna have no hope.
No.
They ain't even gonna have false hope. There's gonna be no hope.
Just a focus.
What hope? You can. You feel free. But I mean, they ain't gonna be able to even be singing the spirituals and one day God's gonna save me and all that stuff. They ain't gonna have all that. They ain't gonna know that one day they're gonna be destroyed.
Yeah,
They're gonna know there's only one God, and that is the God of Israel.
And
They
you
ain't
end up. They angry about critical race theory, but in the kingdom of heaven, the truth of who you are is gonna be apparent. You're the wicked, you're the devil.
Yeah.
And it's gonna burn knowing that you've made the decision and now it's the end. It's sentence time.
Yeah.
You're on death row right now.
Correct.
You don't know how all them Jakes feel when they're on death row and you made them sit there for 10 years before they eventually are going to be executed. Because that's where you're going to be on. The kingdom of heaven is death row for you. It's not death row for the other nations because they're going to know, like, well, they're going to have a part and a place in the kingdom.
And they're gonna be kicking too, man, as it says in Isaiah.
Because you ain't got all the nations, man. Everyone, there's nobody on this planet you have not fucking done wrong.
Yeah.
And so all these nations, when the opportunity arises, man, they're gonna kick you in the ass, man.
They even come against Satan.
Satan, the right
man.
Satan.
Can I get the?
When the ungodly curse of Satan, they curse their own soul.
Can I get one on the one you want?
Yeah, good.
It's Job 14 verse 5. To see in his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
You can see that it's winding down. I mean, even to be honest with you, even the whole image of Esau, it still exists. But the image of Esau and the image of the so-called white one is badly damaged. You know? It's badly damaged. Like,
stock is down.
it is
Look at the leaders.
on so many levels. It's badly damaged. I mean, like there was a time when you guys were like looked at as literally gods on earth, and now it's like, not really.
Yeah.
Not really.
You guys are a bunch of flamers and shit.
Yeah, your image has kind of been more and more casted down in the earth. Like,
Yeah,
know what I
America's
mean?
not as great as it was.
That
people,
mirage is fading.
people are losing their trust in you, man. You don't fuck up so many times. People don't trust you like they really before, and that's why you had a hard time, even with most Jakes, trying to give them that V. Because a lot of Jake, even if they're not in the truth, we're kind of like, you know what I'm saying?
But you know what that shows? Your witchcraft is weakening.
Yeah.
Because the only reason why you got away with so much shit, because who would really in their right mind really trust you anyway? You've done so much badness on the earth, like no one should really trust you, man. But they did anyway, right? That's because your witchcraft is weakening.
Yeah, it's not.
You know?
You're losing a step right now. Quite clearly, like you've lost so much of what you had before. You know, a lot of what you claim to be superior as. I mean, like people are now. Well, you shouldn't have let stuff like you had the intellectual security, but now that Edomites are able to go online and talk,
Their own tongues are falling
you
upon
really
themselves.
undermined yourself with your own media
Yeah.
because Jackass undermined the Edomites. You look at you remember Jackass,
Yeah.
right? Now, man, are looking at
Johnny
Edomites
Knoxville,
like,
yeah.
yeah, Johnny Knoxville, Edomites. I thought these men were like elves. I thought these men were all high IQ, individuals. Oh,
You got these
Now-
British,
Man's
British,
Geordie, what is it, Geordie Shore?
only wears that.
And they see this white woman, they say, oh, this white men are just a bunch of slags. I thought they were a bunch of ladies.
Well, you know what spirit was? I was with the elder Amar yesterday. We were basically just watching like different clips. So we was watching like different clips, like walks through like Denmark, walk through Sweden, and then we did walk through like the United Kingdom, through Manchester, through Liverpool. It was disgusting, man. It was disgusting, man.
Yeah.
You know, like legit, like them ones where it's like you're not wearing anything. Like you're legit not wearing anything. Go home.
They've lost it. They've lost it. Like, and you can go online now and you can just see these Edomites just degenerate. And that's the funny thing. They're looking at Jake like degenerate, but at least we never had the image of not being degenerate. You had an image to protect. Your image is gone, man. Thanks to you. Meth, Edomites on meth all over, the teeth falling out all over the place. Yeah, your image is extremely damaged.
Oh yeah.
Your image is extremely damaged in the world, and the media is your own media that's allowed for that to happen.
I say when your image is up here and the reality is down here, yeah, you're
trying to
falling.
sustain that fake.
They say because you think like you're falling, right? So everything about you is falling. Yeah, you can say we're degenerates, we're already done it.
Remember, like
Not looking
the way
nowhere.
people view these countries, they don't expect to come here and see homeless people.
Yeah.
They don't.
Potholes and all that.
This is supposed to be Shangri-La
Yeah.
when you're in the West.
First world.
Listen, man. But now people are doing videos and showing in London people on the floor, and then people in other countries like, what?
What's going on? Yeah.
You can come out any station in London, man. There'll be some homeless next to it, some nearby.
America's supposed to be the land of gold, and when you go there, it's all potholes, it's a spare homeless.
Skid Row.
Yeah,
Now, you wouldn't know
That shouldn't
this
exist.
city, but you wouldn't know about Skid Row.
From Hollywood.
Yeah, Hollywood's
in
in
Hollywood,
Hollywood. Yeah, and the only reason you know about Skid Row is because you man have gone there with a camera, uploaded it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then the funny thing, anyone from around the world can watch that now. And it's like, hold on, is this? I didn't know they had anything like this in America.
falling apart.
So your image in the world, all the video, your families, killing each other, whole families getting murdered.
Mhm.
You're not superior morally as a morally superior people at all. You make your own documentaries about women that kill, and so Edomites on there, like all them serial killer documentaries, Dharma,
There's most of you.
Gacy, these Edomites, man. You really messed up your own image, man, in the world.
I was gonna say as well, just the other day when there was those so-called riots, man, you had travel advisories to the UK. Other countries were saying, yo, be careful if you're going to the UK. You would never think. That's what you expect from like Zimbabwe or Syria. Like,
Yeah,
It's
warning.
bad, man.
Got an incursion.
When people think of America now, they might think that there's an opportunity to make money because of the dollar, but I guarantee you, in the eyes of the people around the world, they don't have the same image that would have been like 40 years ago. They don't have that same image.
Desire to go there.
Like,
Ghanaians ain't migrating there like they used to.
yeah.
West Africa,
People, I know like certain Eastern Europeans that are basically saying they're going back home for a better quality. They're like, look, the quality of life is gone shit.
Yeah, that's in Jeremiah, man. It's true.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
true.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
true.
Obadiah 1:3 says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the lock, whose habitation is high, that says in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
they really think like they've got everything figured out and they're just gonna win. And that complacency and that lack of fear of the Lord is bringing them to the point where we're actually at right now, where they're really on the precipice of it all coming to an abrupt end. And it's not even a type of abrupt end that a man can normally deal with. This is a different type of abrupt end. This is a violent, destructive end that leads you into slavery in the hands of a people that do not love you. I represent those people, and I can tell you, there ain't gonna be no love or compassion coming from our side. That's the worst position you could be in. Like, you could be in slavery to someone who is apathetic. That ain't so bad. You know, you should not be in slavery to someone that just hates you.
Yeah, the number one enemy. Exactly.
Cause that's a bad day. That's a bad set of days. That's a bad life.
That's the worst outcome.
And that's the outcome you're gonna have.
Anytime out, that's the worst one.
If the worst case scenario is for you to go into slavery to the Negro, Hispanics, Native American Indians,
Yeah,
right?
the ones you despise the most.
Yeah, yeah.
Because when it say, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set
Right,
thy
then what does
nest,
it mean to be exalted as the eagle? The eagle is a bird of prey, a proud bird. They soar higher than everyone else, and that's what Esau thinks about themselves. They're just higher than everyone else, and they can just pray and do whatever they want, and they can just get away with it and sail off into the sunset. No one's gonna hold them accountable. The scriptures say, "Who shall control me for my works?" And it's like, bro, who do you think you are? You are not like you're not God. Like, you are susceptible to the laws of the universe, man. What are you doing now? People die, bro.
Yeah.
But they think they're the apex predator in the earth. But the predator is gonna become the prey. Because there's a whole different level of predator that's coming after you. Right? Mighty men have fallen, man. This is the thing. You're just a man.
and though thou hast set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord.
The Lord's gonna bring you down, and what is that bringing you down? You're gonna go from the guy that owns all the corporations, and you're making all the plans and pulling these strings and doing all that, to the Don that's gonna get a wake up call, and you gotta go to work.
Don't even own his life.
That's it. You're gonna go to the Don that your life is in no councils.
Plantation.
It's just work, eat,
Living in his sink.
suffer. You're not gonna have no choice over what you're doing. Your brother ain't gonna have no choice. Your family, there's no one you can call. There's no Edomite's gonna have authority over anything. You're just gonna be there at our mercy. Nothing like what it's like now. You ain't gonna have no upper class. You ain't gonna have no middle class. You ain't even gonna have no lower. You gonna have no class. You're just gonna be one man and one woman, and no man shall buy it.
That's right. Yeah, all them curses, man.
You're gonna be down all the way bad. I don't think you understand. That's a massive fall from where you are now. There's no holidays. There's no luxury items. There's no one kissing up to you.
No
No,
defense.
no tanning changes. None of them.
No
None
defense.
of them.
No one pandering to you.
Yeah.
No SPF.
No one coming to
None of them tanning dudes that they love to go and get some melon.
No one's gonna come to your aid. None of that.
No one giving you preferential treatment.
No mercy. That's gonna be the mantra in the kingdom, man. No mercy, man, for Esau either. You ain't gonna receive no mercy, man. You ain't shown none.
The Lord surely is. No hope, no inheritance, no heritage, no vested interest. Because a man's supposed to have some kind of vested interest. When you don't own nothing, there is no vested interest. Now you don't know how Jake felt, where all I'm doing is building, but I don't have an investment in this place.
No benefits.
There's nothing here for me. There's nothing. I don't own anything. I'm just simply here to just be used. And if they don't have a use for me, I really might just starve to death.
Yeah, but it literally is all the curses that we read about in Deuteronomy 28. It's all the curses, man. And it literally speaks about this place not being our rest. Well, guess what? The kingdom of heaven is not your rest, man. You ain't gonna be rested.
Ain't no retirement.
No.
That's what we do know.
That
Sick
place is
leave,
your
sick
rest, man.
pay.
That's
Like
what
you
you
said,
said.
No, it's just like you said, you're gonna be on death row for 1,000 years. You know, you're just gonna keep dying and coming back for that whole 1,000-year period, and just working until you get rid of it.
You blind, you go and work.
Yeah.
You dumb, you go and work.
Paralyzed,
Deaf,
you
you
go
go and work. Paralyzed, you go have to do something.
You be Cyclops, one eye,
One arm,
one thing.
Find something, don't worry.
you gonna be
We'll
working,
make
man.
it. You know, this is was it disability equality or some shit? Yeah, whatever you call it, man. You're gonna put it to work.
You gonna feel the whip. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we're being dead serious, and it's your whole nation. That's a massive fall. We're not talking about just a couple of you. The whole nation's gonna be in that sorry state of affairs, and that's a massive fall from where you are right now.
Proud state.
Always got, You're involved in everything.
Yeah, he has to be the one to approve every single statement.
Yeah,
You know, if Esau doesn't agree with it, it ain't true. It's like,
Yeah.
no, we're the authority, especially when it comes to these scriptures, man. You're gonna find out we're the authority.
And there's going to be so much more.
Yeah,
You know, because it starts off with the scriptures, man. But
Yeah.
once we're in rulership, man, we're gonna know all so much things.
history, everything.
Yeah.
You know so much things, man. So we're gonna be authority on all things.
Yeah.
If it's like, I know you got people, it's like right now, if something major happens in the world, what do they say? Oh, the president of the United States is about to make a statement on this. There ain't gonna be none of that.
Get an Oval Office ready. And
Yeah.
Yeah, like their opinion matters more than anyone else. Well, no.
So just a quick one, quickly. Isaiah 14, verse 9. Hell from beneath is moved to meet thee at thy coming. That's what we wanted to get out of that. Because you're gonna hit the floor hard, man.
To a lower state.
Yeah. It's gonna hurt. Real bad.
It's gonna be painful. You're already feeling. These man, listen. This man can't pay their mortgage. They hurt. That's not, listen, man. Forget the mortgage. You're going into hardcore bondage slavery. Ain't gonna mean nothing.
Ain't gonna survive.
You can survive bankruptcy. Ask Donald Trump. You ain't surviving this.
Trying to reinvent
You know
itself.
what I mean? Oh yeah, in 5 years I can. Maybe in 10 years I get back in the game.
If thieves came to thee, if lovers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherer came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? How are the things of Esau searched out? How are the hidden things thought out?
You gotta be
Thought up.
Esau, you're gonna be completely exposed. And your wickedness is gonna be exposed in the judgment you're gonna get. Man gonna know, yeah, these men were wicked as hell. Because the way you were brought down, it's like you never existed. You're got the greatest fall there's ever been in the history of mankind. No one has fallen as far as you're gonna fall. You're gonna fall low. Low. You're going from Birkin to sackcloth, man. And it's gonna be crazy.
But it's the greatest fall in history, man.
And there ain't gonna be left no tiny little remnant of Edomites as I.
Yeah.
Or you know, like, okay, the elites, we're gonna have you as like, you know, agents that's just gonna be here, like we'll give you a little position. No. You're all going down into the pits, man. That's crazy. When you really think about it, I don't think that's ever happened. Like just the whole blanket down like that. There's always been some man that was alright, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Okay, then cool, you are.
Like Daniel and them.
We keep troubling, or we keep going. You know, there's something here to be had.
Someone used.
Yeah. No, you man are all gonna go down, man, together. Beginning with your elites. They're just gonna be down and working. Sad. And then on top of that, you ain't gonna come back from it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be rooted out of the earth forever, man.
Nothing to look forward to.
That's a sad case, man.
This is the
So
book
equal justice right there, man.
Luke 10 and 18, and he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven.
Yeah. And that's talking about you wicked elite. The Luciferians, the holders of the light, so-called illuminated ones. You know, your WEFIs, the World Economic Forum, the illuminated ones, and you know, the WHO, all those, you know, those leaders of those organizations, the banking elite, they're all gonna come down, man, low. Very low.
Listen, when Yahweh Shai comes, it's over.
Oh, the Lord's literally gonna blast you out of the heavens, out of the skies, man. That's why I said that war in heaven, man, with the archangels and all of that. The Lord's really gonna blast you out of the heaven. That's why fast Lucifer's gonna fall from his fucking, you know, his heaven.
It's gonna take no 1,000 years,
Nah,
man. Backward and
1
forward.
hour.
Done.
And then the Lord's gonna leave your whole empire as a desert of pit of destruction to show you how much he hate that hatred that he has for you and your whole nation, man. You're gonna turn your whole empire into a desert, man. You ain't even gonna know where it began to where it ended. It's gonna be a whole land of destruction, man.
Line of confusion.
Line of confusion.
Yeah, no landmarks, man. They
No,
got
nothing.
Mount
No relics.
Rushmore.
You know, who's got tombs and all that, you can go and dig and all that. You ain't gonna have none of that. This is where the East was once here and all that. You ain't gonna see none of those shits, man.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
All
the
that's
line
gonna
of
be dust,
confusion.
crumbled, man.
The Golden Gate Bridge and all that, all your monuments that everyone knows so well, gonna be just gone.
Gone, bro.
All the stadiums, all the the MGM Arena and all this shit.
Because even over there in Petra, you got that certain relics and you got the buildings and
Stone.
sandstones and this is where Esau. You ain't even gonna have that. It's just gonna be all rubble, man.
We're gonna level that place up,
Gonna
man.
level your
and then
whole
all
shit.
your other societies gonna be broken down too anyway. You gotta be broken down.
Like Simba said,
And you ain't coming
must
back into
never
power.
go.
Russia ain't coming back after 1,000 years because we're gonna be immortals, man. We're gonna be made gods on the earth. So you ain't gonna have no time to even gain power back, and like you're never gonna get back into power, man. That's a mirage, man.
Well, it's the same way. Jake don't think they can get any. Like when we tell Jake about these scriptures that we're gonna get into a position, majority of Jake can't.
You can't
too
fathom it. It's
far-fetched.
too, yeah.
Slave too long.
It's been years. It's that slave mentality.
So imagine what you go through.
Yeah, and they ain't
The
even
best
gonna
we can do is be accepted by Esau. That's
It's unimaginable.
you
Yeah.
ain't gonna have no civil rights movement.
None of that. No freedom. Yeah,
no one fighting Edomite history. Edomite history.
One
man.
level. One condition, and that's one chattel slavery. Straight.
It's Joel 20 verse 4. It says, "Know it thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth. But the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment."
And you see, when you hear it say short, in terms of your kingdom, you might think, oh, well, it's been hundreds of years. But compare that to
Everything's
eternity, man. It's relative. The triumphing has always been short. Man, have a good run.
Yeah.
The kingdom might have a good run, a good 17-year spell where it's going good, and then it start going downhill. But it's really a short time.
Yeah.
It's really a short time. The reign is short. And then you just become a cautionary tale, isn't it? Like Franklin Saint.
Oh shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but yeah, get destroyed by
Short, man. You guys are gonna have a quick one, man. You thought it was gonna be like Star Trek and
Go on forever, forever.
thousands of years into the future, you Edomites are still running around,
Only going where no man's
Conquering and all
who's
that.
got a vagina on his forehead so he could fuck himself in the head or some shit. Man.
That's why they did. That's why they
freaky
show you the different programs and Esau trying to go into different galaxies and that. Now you got Elon Musk talking about going into Mars and all these different the explorations they want to do in space. That's a fantasy, man. You ain't gonna get to go into space, man. The only time you're gonna get to go into space is if we put you up there. Upcut you up there.
Edomite balloon.
Put you on a slave ship, so you can go, go to another slave quarter, man, on another planet. That's the only time you're gonna go up into the heavens, man.
It's beautiful because everything Esau's tried, everyone said it, but everything Esau's tried, the Lord is going to give us like that.
Yeah.
Living forever. The Lord is going to click his hand.
You're
It's
gonna,
done.
just
It's
take
a
it.
twinkle of an
It's
eye.
done, yeah.
That's
That's it.
You don't deserve to live forever, man. You wicked, man.
Nah, hell with that.
You wicked as all hell, man. You demons, man.
Verse 6 says, "Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, his head reach unto the clouds." That's that pride, right?
Yeah.
No, he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, "Where is he?" Because you ain't got a part in the kingdom, man. You're gonna do all that hard work, that blood, sweat. It's gonna be bleeding for this kingdom, man. But at the end of it, you ain't got no part in it. You don't enjoy the goods of it.
Your image, like, you done violate the earth so much, you had nations basically worshipping that clown image you got, that leprosy that you have. And people are trying to be like the white woman, or people are trying to be like the so-called white man, bare bleaching. You got the bleach master himself,
World boss.
with the world boss.
Bleacher vibes.
Yeah, but he ain't the only one. That's a big thing throughout. Even when you go into Elam, you go all over the world. You had that effect where people were just like worshiping your image, and the blonde thing. Everyone wants to be blonde. Like, well, blonde is leprosy, man.
It's a curse.
But in our kingdom, there's gonna come a point where that image is gonna be like done away with,
People
man.
gonna want their afros and all that. People gonna want that. They get their little
If you
afros.
see, it's gonna be a point in the kingdom. You see a guy that look like an Edomite, man, they be like, come here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
like an animal in the zoo.
Yeah,
What's
the
that?
old man in the zoo.
Yeah, that's it.
yeah, your image has been promoted in the earth, and it's disgusting, man. You know what I mean? You had the whole world thinking that being shaped like a fucking 8-year-old boy was the pinnacle of beauty, man. It's mad, man. No, they did that. If you go through the annals of history, that's why they used to laugh at any kind of curviness, because that was to suit them. They were gaslighting, man. Oh, that's the best. They gaslighted, man, about Kylie Minogue. Oh, Kylie Minogue got the best bum in the world. They were gaslighting, man. But that's all been turned on its head anyway, and it's out of there, man.
Or that thing from boxing last week. Laura, whatever her name,
Laura Woods, yeah.
Woodward.
Oh
whatever.
yeah. That's
They
gaslighting
gaslighting
at the highest level.
Some Edomite thing that she's the best looking
They
white
got-
woman ever in the family. Dead, man.
You
Kate
like-
Moss and that. They was trying to.
Yeah, Kate Moss.
There's better women working at Tesco.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're gonna be gone, man. You Edomites are actually gonna be gone, and that's a massive transition because you put it into the people's minds that like you're needed, you are necessary for elevation
You're
in
the
the earth.
imperial thing.
Like in order for the earth to go forward and for the people to achieve any kind of prosperity or anything, you need Esau to be there.
Look at that's working. Look at that's working.
That's what I'm saying.
Women are complaining.
They're gaslighting, man. Because the third world, yeah, because look at their country, you know, and as soon as we leave, look how their countries turn off. Like, we be the ones that build any civilization. Mud huts, you know, the mud huts. Bro, like, guess what? Like, don't worry about it, because you ain't gonna be here. It's necessary for you to not be here. Because you are not needed. You're not the source. The Bible tells you, what's that in the book of Sirach, the first chapter, where wisdom and knowledge comes from. It don't come from you. It comes from the Most High. The Most High is the one that holds all the wisdom and the knowledge that man needeth to proceed. Not you. You are not a necessary component in the earth.
See, great empires is before him. So with this idea that he's the founder of all things great in the world. No.
He's the only one that can invent something. Well, I've got news for you. All invention really comes from the Most High.
Yeah.
The Most High could choose anyone to bestow knowledge upon. You're not special. But who he is going to choose his sons, because we are special to him.
Yeah.
We're going to be the ones that are going to do what you claim you were going to do. We're going to take this whole universe to the next stage. And our thing's never going to fuck up. So we ain't going to have to hit the reset button. You know when you fuck up,
Try again.
and you got to start again. Man. You ain't going to have to start again, like, or go back to a
Control.
previous stage.
Control.
Hey, shut up, man. We've all been there. We've all been there, man. Have to go back. You don't fuck it up.
Control.
You
What
know,
you
like,
correct
you
all up before, yeah.
ain't gonna go back to no previous stage. But our team's gonna be running perfect, man. Not like your team.
This is Revelation 11 and 18. And the nations were angry, and thy love is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and it shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth.
You Edomites are destroying the earth under your vibration and under your rulership. Everything is out of whack and messed up, man. But then you're the one that's claiming you're saving the earth. This is how mad it is. You the ones running the green revolution and green this, green that. That's why you got to go. The gaslighting is elite level, man.
I was watching the elders in Dallas yesterday, and the elder Ariana was like, "Yo, even the flies are slow these days." I was like, "Yeah, it's true." But you know, back in the day, you try to catch a fly and you can't catch it. But nowadays, you get it.
They're doing lethargic and shit.
Yeah.
The air's too dense for them now and shit.
Bro, this is paradise, man. And Esau, you know, he's leading the earth into its most sickly state, man. And that's another thing. When we're ruling the earth, everything is gonna go back to premium levels, man. You ain't gonna have to pay extra. Well, even the low grade thing is gonna be premium thing. You
You know,
know?
we speak about a new heaven and new earth, right? He's not talking about a new planet. This whole earth and is gonna be refreshed.
Yeah.
It's gonna be rejuvenated back to its former state, right? Into its healthier state at the beginning. You know, because like I said, the world's got sick over time, man. All the wickedness, all the bloodshed, and all the heinous acts that's gone on in it, and he's just ramped it up right at the last end. Ramped it up so high, man. This world is due, man, for a change, man.
Needs a reset, man.
That's right.
Yeah, man. You want credit, but you gave man cigarettes. You want credit for, man. And then you knew the whole time that it was killing people, and you hid it for long enough. You get enough people hooked in it. So when you bring it out, it doesn't really make a difference anyway, because you've already got man addicted on it. You
So-
scum, man.
And then you set up a whole fucking healthcare system based on that.
Now you moved it over to vape,
Yeah,
which is the
based on
same
that.
shit all over again. You just scum, man.
Yep.
Asbestos. You really look at it. Esau's done a lot of fucking up, but he just gets to sweep it under the rug.
Yeah.
Oops.
What was the Teflon company, DuPont, and all of that? You know, they showed you was blackfish or something like that.
I think it's called that.
Yeah, and they go into how like the people that were working there were getting sick, You know, people who had their farms nearby, their cattle were dying, and then and it's as has been said many a time. Then when it comes out, it's like oops, and then the fine is nothing in comparison to the amount of profit that they've made. You know, so it then becomes a calculated risk, and I've seen it in business where it's like.
It's like professional fouls in football.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's not bad for scoring, is it? Though?
Exactly.
You know, you gotta take the L, innit?
Yeah, one man did that against England in the World Final when he pulled down Saka. Yeah, Esau's done a lot of fucking up, man. But like I said, he's been hiding behind the false image that he's the guy. If anyone's gonna do it, it's him. And then the whole world's waking up to the fact that hold on, actually, you don't need Esau to build. You don't need Esau to do anything. Esau's a cunt.
You don't do it right now.
That's Jake's problem. Jake think that if we can't get into the kingdom with Esau, it's nothing to be looked forward to.
Yeah, because
We don't
out of
need Esau.
everyone, we're the most slave-minded people there
can't
is.
do it around him.
We're the most slave-minded people there is because all we're concerned with is entertainment more than anything. Even this whole thing in P. Diddy, Jay just turned it into jokes and entertainment.
Yeah,
Because you know, that's why when you come into this truth, man, you gotta bring yourself more into a manly state of affairs because the Lord is actually giving us the keys to a kingdom. But you can't put a bunch of children that only want to deal with entertainment. You give them the keys to a kingdom, man. You gotta be serious and business minded. You have to think about the economy. You have to think about things of a higher nature that's necessary. You gotta build. That's why niggas love America because they ain't gotta do nothing in America. Esau does it all for them. Esau's the one running the Fed, running the Federal Reserve, running the economy, and you could just go do any bait, stupid job or sell drugs or whatever, and then just buy it. You don't have to worry about actually how things work because it doesn't matter to you how the system works.
When you come into this truth, you gotta understand the Lord's putting us in different positions, setting us up for His government, and we're gonna be actually like world leaders. We ain't gonna be no small economy. We ain't gonna be like a small town leader. We're gonna be world leaders, leading world affairs, like major businesses and all that, economies. We're gonna be controlling the whole earth, man.
In righteousness.
So that's a serious job. That's a serious office, man.
You know, because we got to start everything again.
You gotta do it from the scratch.
Everything we got to start again, man.
From the scratch,
You
man.
know, all the systems that we rely on now, it's got to be uprooted, and because it's all going to be destroyed.
And the benefit that we're gonna have, the plus is we're gonna have the laws and statutes innated in us, so we're not gonna go off. So everything we're gonna do is in balance and order, in righteousness with the earth. It's gonna be in its natural order. So we're not gonna go off, man. Like, you know, even from the foundations of buildings, like, you know, 3 floors up and all, like everything's gonna be the way it's supposed to be. In unison with the earth.
So everything got to start again. Sewage systems, you know, all of that. Even our guys that run our water system, man, they ain't doing no fucking good job, man. It's fucking so much bare pollution and shit, and they're getting bare money out of doing it still. You know, it's unrighteousness.
Waste, having all that.
So that's all got to go. That's all got to be uprooted and set up again. You know, new things are going to come into the earth, man.
Energy production.
And we're going to have a high level of wisdom and knowledge, man. To bring something better.
We're going to be great. That's we're going to be made gods. So we're going to do everything perfect, man.
That's what I'm saying. We're gonna take the world to a new level, baby. We're gonna take it to a new level, man. And then man are gonna. That's why the nations are gonna understand. The sons of God are the guys that need to be running this thing.
That's it.
We had the son of Satan. He was doing the most. He was more concerned in trying to give my son a vagina and all that. He was doing madness.
We're gonna look back at this and be
Yo, you were was fucking this place up, man. Struggling to get food.
The age of confusion. This is what this place is. The age of confusion.
Pure mental illness. Like for so many people are messed up. Mental illness, and then the scripture says, "Menstruous women shall bring forth monsters." Bro, you turn every corner, there's nothing but monsters. Because the word monster, most people don't know this is a medical term. Monster is someone that's born with a deformity. Bro, there's whole fucking schools of these people now.
ADHD now.
And I'm just what the fuck, man. Every time you spin your head, there's some kid with Down syndrome or autism or some crazy shit. 5 heads or something. Well, you know where all that's come from? It's all the poison. It's all the poison, man. The food and the medicine and all that stuff. So the more and more people are just giving birth to straight up monsters, man. And and that's not productive. Because them people have to be taken care of their entire life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In our kingdom, I'm not saying there ain't gonna be no one like that. There might be some judgment, but it ain't gonna be like what it is now.
Our people
where
ain't
it's
gonna be like that.
Well, yeah, our
Yeah.
people.
We're gonna be
But
gods.
you ain't gonna have just everywhere you turn around and look, yeah, it's just like,
Yeah, all that the foolish shit.
what the fuck is this all about,
Esau gonna probably be like that. He gonna fuck with us. He gonna put them curses on it.
Wow.
man?
Good one. There's Stephen Hawkins and
All that goes from just bad management, man. Yeah, all that goes into just poor management of the earth, man. You know what I'm saying? If the earth was under good management, you get good results, man.
Yeah.
You know, and the people would be in a good stead.
Exactly. More healthy,
There wouldn't be no third world.
vibrant. Yeah.
People living in sewage and all this kind of stuff.
Everything for Esau is a cost of profit. You know, he just wants profit, but he doesn't care what the repercussions are, the aftermath of what he does.
Cost benefit analysis.
Yeah.
He will only stop something and then tell you that it's destructive once he's made enough profit.
Yeah.
You know, or it's no longer efficient for him to carry on in that particular model.
They thought it was prudent to be testing nuclear weapons in the atmosphere and in the ocean.
Yeah.
Madness.
And then they wonder why there's all this cancer.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Yeah, because you fucking exploded nuclear weapons in the fucking atmosphere, bro.
And all these fucking all the sea animals are
Chernobyl.
sick.
You know,
Yeah, Chernobyl and all that.
Ukraine and Chernobyl.
So we're gonna have to the
Fukushima.
angels are gonna have to clean up all this nuclear shit, man. Close up all these atoms that you done opened up, man. Here, go on now.
Yeah, this is the book of Proverbs, 2nd chapter, verse 6. For the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. He layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly.
Sound wisdom, man.
Yeah, sound wisdom, man. There's so many systems that you can build that will help the people, man.
Yeah.
And it's not like the resources and these things don't exist in the earth. They do. Because everything we need in the earth is here.
Exactly.
There's not a shortage of resources in the earth. There's not a shortage of people. There's not really a shortage of know-how. It's just bad management and wickedness. When you have bad wickedness is really what's turned the earth the way it is. Because everything that exists on this earth today is going to exist in the kingdom. Dirt, iron, all the resources. They don't mean no new resource like vibranium or something or some shit. Right? It's going to be the same resources. There's still going to be people.
And the earth grows it.
So what's the difference going to be? It's going to be the vibration, the understanding, the wisdom, and the application of things, man. That's going to change it to a whole new meaning. Right now, everything is destructive and degrading, and it's stupid, and it's working against us. Even the concepts people have in the way they raise children now is retarded.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The education system is retarded.
But it's like all the resources that Esau uses in these corporations, it's being savage. The earth is being savaged, man. It's unnecessary. The rate he goes on doing things is excessive.
Yeah, the consumerism.
He's got to have his diamonds. He's got to have all this and shit, right? But like, how many people are wearing diamonds? But he's running mines empty or trying to, and saying it's a rare resource and that kind of shit. It's him. He's the issue. You know,
like
trees
the
being
clothes.
chopped down and so much trees.
The system in the West of clothes is unsustainable because they're making people buy clothing to wear once or cheap clothing that don't last long just to drive the economy. But ultimately, you're destroying the earth. You're not supposed to, like, you're going to have always different level quality of clothes, but why do you have to have, it used to be they used to have like 2 sales. Now they have a sale, there's a new system so they've sped up the system basically. Whereas people would change clothes every like 2 years, now you change clothes every 2 months. Same thing with the makeup. They keep having a new makeup palette that you have to get. So you buy one palette now, in 2 months, a new palette is in, so you need to buy that palette, and the last palette is obsolete. Esau keeps creating all these different things, and it's just burning the place out, man.
Like that saying that he pushed on to women that you can't wear the same outfit twice. You know, it's like, where did that come from? And women will try to blame men. It's like, you never said that.
Yeah,
Shit.
no.
You don't care. You don't even know.
Like 1,000 pairs of shoes and like,
Exactly.
Yeah, Esau set that.
I wear my traces like bust up.
And there's places in the earth that are being destroyed because of that.
Yeah, you got the,
Vanity.
you got the low paid workers working overtime in them factories, working, making all these different materials and A lot of it's just got bare pollutants.
Poison, yeah.
Is there a lot
Bare
of just wasted?
poisons. Yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
waste.
what's the point of buying a Primark shirt and then it's all fucked up 2-3 months later? It's true.
Waste of cotton, bro.
It's a waste of cotton. You're better off if you just have good, decent quality stuff and you wear it and then you last longer. But like I said, the whole spirit,
Consumerism.
it's all the spirit of everything. The spirit and the mindset of the people is destroyed. You know?
Psalms 9:16. The Lord Yahweh is known by the judgment which he executed. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Haggai and Salah. The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all nations that forget the Most High. But the needy shall not always be forgotten. The expectation of the poor shall not perish forever. Arise, O Lord, let not man prevail. Let the heathen be judged in thy sight. Put them in fear, O Yahweh, that the nations may know themselves to be but men. Salah.
Yeah, and that's the Edomites, man. They've destroyed the children of the Most High, the Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, abused us, set up COINTELPRO. They think they got us right where they want us, man. But the Lord is going to flip that script on them, man. Beginning with the elect, he's already doing that. Because we weren't meant to exist.
Yeah.
The men of the Lord ain't meant to exist. This truth isn't something that Esau wanted to be out. This has come from heaven. This is manna that has manifested itself from heaven for us to have.
But this truth was absent in the earth. It wasn't an issue that Esau had at the time. But the truth came back, you know?
Yeah.
Great.
That's what it is. I know, and this is the beginning of something new, something better, man. Better. Which the Edomite, if you was to ask Edomite, can a Negro, Hispanic, Native American build anything better than us? They don't believe that.
They're still trying to figure out who built the pyramids.
But
man.
the system of so-called white supremacy doesn't believe that anyone can do anything better or superior to Esau either. That's a fact. But we will. The kingdom of heaven, man, and they go, but you'll see because you're gonna be there helping to build it.
Yeah.
Right? We still got in Isaiah 60. Let's get it.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus 39 and 26. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil and clothing. All these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinners they are turned into evil.
So the sinners though turn into evil.
Misuse.
You know, the misuse, man. And Esau is at the head of that.
Yeah, you know, because on that work, because I was just fact checking myself before I said something. But like you talk about misuse, it was basically saying there's been like 1 million deaths by alcohol this year, like people drinking too much, you know, stuff.
Yeah,
like
yes.
that.
And that's a culture. That's a culture.
Yeah.
That's a culture, man.
Yeah,
Like Esau pushed that culture.
yeah.
That's like an Americanized culture. Over drink.
But they push it like it's a manly thing.
Yeah,
To get
manly thing.
you drunk out your skull, man.
Yeah.
Go home and beat your wife.
That's youth. It's youth culture, and it's pushed by the media. Like, you know, because when you see, listen, at the end of the day, people do what they think they're expected to do.
Yeah.
It's just like these college movies. Esau makes a whole bunch of movies about college, and they show you that college is about partying and having sex and doing madness. So people go to college and do that because they do what they expect, what they've seen is expected of them to do. People act. Usually, that's what predictive programming is. Usually, human beings will act how in a situation how they think they're expected to act. So if you put that in front of them, that's what they're gonna do. Esau, the one that, like, for instance, if you watch a lot of these fucking kids programs, the kids programs always show that the children should be rebellious to their parents. Now, if you're, and there's this idea that a teenager, what they'll put this idea that when you become a teenager, you're supposed to be rebellious to your parents because that's just what teenagers do. And they make these programs. So imagine if you're a child now, you're watching this program, you're 9, 10 years old, you're watching this Disney program, and the Disney program is showing you teenagers, this is what teenagers do. This is how they behave. When you get to a teenager, you're now enabled to act like that.
And
But they don't act like that in Japan.
And the parents watching these things also expect them to behave in that way.
Oh,
so they allow it. They allow these things.
But hold on, if that's just how teenagers inherently act, then why in Japan they don't act like that?
That's why.
Maybe because there's a culture and an expectation that they're given, which is different. So they meet that requirement instead of meeting this one.
My cousin just came back from Japan. What he said, he was like, when I got back to London, I was like, where is the respect? You know, was the first thing he said. He's all very hella respect.
They're the ones that the culture, the vibration. They're the ones that are pushing these things. Like, there is other way because they want you to believe that this is how people inherently are, but it's not true because there's places where people are not like that, and the difference is the culture and the expectations that they have. Just like with the littering, brothers know I hate the littering thing. These people in the UK, especially in the ghetto areas, right? Just litter.
Yeah.
They just litter. They will just throw things on the floor. It's just in
Even
there.
when there's bins in the vicinity.
Even when there's a bin there, they'll throw it on the floor. But it's not because that's just how human beings are. It's just your culture. You don't respect your environment. You've not been taught to respect your environment. And so you destroy everything around you. Now you go to other cultures, like in Japan, you won't ever see any litter. And I'm talking about the children, the teenagers. Man, you go to the park near me, you can tell where the teenagers hang around. Because where they sit at that bench is just junk. Now, if that was Japan, they'll come, eat, they'll all have a bag, put their shit in the bag, rip it up, they either take it home or go put it in the bin.
Because that was in the Qatar World Cup, isn't it?
Oh yeah, they cleaned up before they left the stadium.
Yeah.
Because then when they go to school in them schools, they have to go to school early and clean the school. They learn from a young age that you have to respect your environment. Here, if they build a playground, these youths will come and destroy the playground within 6 months. Within 6 months, everything's broken, everything is ripped apart, and then they'll say, "Oh well, we ain't got nothing around here to play with." Yeah, you fucking destroyed it, man. Why? Because your minds are fucked.
Everything is given to them.
They don't,
You know?
Earn it.
But they're not taught the right way. But this is meant to be the superior place. How? Why are all these people got such fucked up mentalities? Because they're not programming them the right way. They're programming them the opposite way. It's messed up, man. The mentality of these people, no respect, like you said, no respect. They got no respect for elders.
No, none of them.
Because guess what? Everything they watch is telling them to have no respect for elders.
He's old. He's disorderly.
Yeah, they don't show give them to respect the elders when they watch these things.
Yeah, no, because I was just on this World Dominant cycle. You had been speaking about Esau knowing how to do more, and I was just looking up at like how many people die each year of just no access to clean drinking water. That's an easy problem to solve, right? And there's like 626,000 this year alone. You know, just because there's no clean water access to water, and that's easy. Spill the wealth, you know. But Esau's the devil.
Yeah, you make it look like it can't be done, but they got the money and the resources to sort them situations out.
Showed
But
you
they
the
don't
code.
give a fuck. Yeah. They got unlimited funds for war and shit, but they can't sort them simple problems out.
Isaiah 24:5. The earth is also defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed but the laws, changed the ordinance, and broken the everlasting covenant.
Yeah, like even the transgress the laws. You go to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father, man. It's a way of life. It's a way of economy. But they've taught the world that the Bible, the law, that's just all archaic fiction. Where it's progressive now. We have so Esau's got more laws than you like. Esau's laws in all these various companies. Like you need to have an AI to break down all these different laws and statutes, right? But it's not creating a better society, is it?
No, they keep changing it.
They keep changing it. Whereas our laws, there's not as many of the laws, but the basis of them works. It's completely applicable. There's laws on fraud. There's property laws. There's laws that keep the family together. There's dietary laws. You know what I'm saying? These men are sucking down all these damn shrimp and oysters and all this crazy shit, man.
Oh, you should look at that number. It's insane.
Yeah, crazy.
What's that for?
333 million abortions this year.
It's crazy, man. But they don't want the law to go forth, man. But this is what you're gonna get. The earth becomes defiled. People's minds are defiled. Everything is defiled and corrupted. It's crazy. And you're not allowed to talk about it.
No. This is why the missiles are coming, man. This is why the Lord gonna level this whole place, man. Because this place needs to be,
You can't tell me that these youths that are being raised in society are better quality than the previous generation.
Oh,
That's why they call them Gen Z.
Everybody, and the funny thing, everybody knows these kids these days.
yeah.
Well, hold on. So if these, how are they being produced then? If you can't have it both ways, you can't say that society is progressing the right way, but then what you're producing are degressing. That's a disconnect, man. Oh no, you can't beat the kids. That was wrong. We should never have done that. Let's do it this way. But then when you're doing it that way, the kids are turning out worse.
Exactly.
But then
More lawless.
there's a disconnect
They're
going
not
on there.
learning.
Oh, that was abusive.
Yeah. Giving them more rights.
They took corporal punishment out of the schools, and the schools are fucking. Teachers are no longer teaching in schools.
No.
They're babysitting, and they're babysitting with their claws removed.
Yeah.
And then I found out another thing, like about the education system here in the UK. Schools get marked down for exclusions, so now they don't even want to exclude kids no more because they want to keep their rating. And so all these bad breed kids just get kept in the schools. It's just madness, man. I'll send you, bro. The education system. When you really break it down, the guy said what the education system basically is now is not about educating the children. It's about the school keeping its Ofsted rating, which is solely based on the kids, the markings in their books. So he said it gets to a point where now the children don't take their books home.
Right.
They keep their books in the class, right? But the reason they're keeping the books in the class is in case they get an inspection, so the inspector can inspect the books. So imagine they might go through some revision, for an exam, and they write their books and they have to mark it in this pen and that pen for the Ofsted inspection. You can't take the book home and study from the book for your exam. So it's not really about the exam. It's just about the notations in the book. So Ofsted can say, yeah, this is a good school. The whole system is fucked.
And they've just even made it work, because back in the day, Ofsted could just pop up and then come to the school and but basically someone died, and all of a sudden it's like, you can't do this.
Yeah, because now the reason for that is the Ofsted thing. The reason why Ofsted's fucked up is that, say like your school is like gets a bad rating from Ofsted. What happens is the teacher is going to it's not even the funding. It's worse than that. The teacher is going to get fired. All the senior teachers get fired. They turn the school into what's known as a academy. Right, and bring in new people. So that's why the schools are all scared of Ofsted, because basically, if Ofsted gives you a bad rating, your career's done. They're gonna come in, you're gonna get fired, and now you're blacklisted because you've been the head over a school. But ultimately, your school might not be a bad school. You just didn't pass Ofsted because the notations in the books weren't done properly. And another thing they mark you down on now is attendance, which is why all the schools keep going on about attendance. It's not because of the kids, it's because of the Ofsted. Bro, the whole system is total, and that teacher committed suicide because they found out as well that what they're doing is they're turning up already giving the school a grade before they check for the evidence. So her school was graded well, she didn't change anything, and then they turned up and gave her a bad grading, and then she's basically gonna get fired. And so all the stress, she killed herself. And then that's why they had to say, but bro, that Ofsted is Satan, but it's on purpose. This is what I'm saying. Esau has created, wherever you go, what they say the system is for, Esau has purposely made it where it's not achieving those goals, but they're doing some, dotting the I and crossing the T, which makes it look like that's what they're doing. But deep down, it's not. And then the people in the system know. Most teachers know that the education system in the UK is not really designed to educate. It's not. Just like the health service is not really designed to provide the best healthcare, but they act like they are, and they got checks and balances. It's bullshit. It's the same in the financials.
When they introduced the Financial Conduct Authority, like going back to 2008, because bankers are just giving people loans or favors, like you might know a man and know he's got a good job, he's got loans elsewhere, but they didn't do any sort of cross checking. They would give a man extra money based on the fact you make 100 grand a year, but he might have to leverage 200 grand somewhere else, but because you've got a good job, he'll pay it off eventually. It's fine. And then it got to a point where people defaulted on loans, so they brought the Financial Conduct Authority as a way of saying like everything's going to be automated. So the only way you can get credit now is if you've got like 6 months history and you run your account well. And there's mad loopholes in that as well. Like,
what the one guy said is that he said like, if you got a good teacher that's got a good way of teaching the children, but he doesn't get them to notate their book a certain way, they'll fire him, But the guy that doesn't really teach the children, they're not learning anything. As long as their books are noted up the right way, they'll keep him because the Prophet said.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's the Edomite way of doing things.
It's crazy.
We all see it at our jobs. We all see it at our jobs. So the way these Edomites think that the world should be run, they don't do it right. They don't. They don't.
Well, the guy said, like, even as a teacher now, you know, like, you might come up with a new way to get someone to get it. So you might bring a basketball in and throw the basketball, and the guy will catch it, answer the question. They said if a teacher comes and sees you do that, you're going to get a reprimand. But not because you're doing any harm to the children. It's just that if an Ofsted inspector turns up and sees you do it, they will say, no, it's not even nothing to do with the curriculum. They will say, that method you're using, is it being used in other classes? No. Therefore, you're not being consistent with your methodology of teaching, and we're going to mark your school down.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how bad it is.
Yeah.
So as a teacher, you're even constrained of trying to use creative ways to teach your kids. You can't.
But once again, it's that thing that in Esau's world about everyone. He's making everyone into a robot.
Yeah.
You know, especially like for instance, more with this AI. When you look at everything AI kind of writes up, it's all the same. When you really look at it and you analyze the spirit of what is being written, it's all the same, and that's what Esau wanted.
But that just shows
they were trying to make it sound like AI can be creative, like really, in reality, it's not really true.
No,
It's not really true.
There's
Just
amazing people.
just because you can type in some few words, and come up with some image, I could do the same thing. It's different versions of the same things. It's not no different.
AI is all about input.
I say, I mean, as the brother say, you're gonna apply it different from AI and the humans. It's like you're gonna apply a feeling and everything, you know.
Yeah,
God.
I'm saying AI is it's lifeless.
Yeah.
Artificial means unnatural. That's right.
Also, just a background because you know when it's like a musician goes through a breakup, you know a sick album's about to drop. You know
When the
what
dog
I'm
gets the album,
Some people are just mad fucking creative. You know, it's the spirit of the Lord.
That's it.
But like I said, Esau, there's a lot of things wrong with this world, and it's on purpose.
Yeah.
Esau sets up a lot of bullshit, you know? And then on the outside, that's why people think Ofsted is there to improve education and improve schools. No, they're not. They're just there to make it look like they're doing that, but the children are automatically suffering. And that's why a lot of teachers are leaving the UK, and they're warning other people not to come to the UK to be teachers because of the system of the education. It's bullshit. And who's suffering at the end of the day? The children. They're not being really educated or nothing.
If I can say as well, and like with the housing situation as well, when the CV happened, every bank did this thing where they gave people capital repayment holidays, which is satanic because basically they said all you got to pay for the whole time you're on furlough or the whole time the CD was going on is your interest. But then like they didn't tell people that the capital that you had the holiday from, you get re-added back on with a shorter term, so you got less time to pay back more money because they add the capital back on. So then your interest rate your payments are gonna go down.
So they basically set up a ticking time bomb
ticking time
for later on down the road, so they can utilize it. And that's what, because they want crisis. Anyway, let's keep it going, man. Yeah, read what you got there.
Ecclesiasticus 10 and 1 and 72.
You got it, bro.
Yeah, that's a good
You called it already.
A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered.
Right, what does government do? People have, the reality is that you need people, you need educated people, good human capital, right? You need people healthy, all these different things. And so your purpose as the government of a people is to instruct them to make sure that those things are happening under the strict guidelines of the law. That's literally your job as the government, to make sure that people have everything they need from a wiser position to know what to do in a situation to get to that prosperity that everyone's looking for. But the problem is, in this society, that's not what the government's there to do. The government is not there to serve the people and to uplift the people. They're there to serve the corporations and the elites and shit on the people.
They're here to manage the people.
Right.
That's it. Manage the expectations.
And so this is where you get in a situation where you got a national health service that is falling apart, and it's just misuse of funds and on, because they want that crisis. You've got an education system that's just messed up. You got an economy that's all been managed wrong. Because they deindustrialized it and turned it into a service economy and all this bullshit. It's made everyone go uni when they didn't need to. They were promoting, man. Yeah, go to uni. ACAS points. It's all this bullshit, man.
Oh, because you mentioned the NHS. I was chatting to someone who's like setting up a company in that field, and he was saying the second or third biggest cost is litigation in the NHS. So just people being taken to court, you know.
It's mad, man. And it's all under your watch, Esau. But that's what I said. The government of a prudent man is well ordered, man. All the things that we're talking about, man. Esau is not really running a tight ship because he doesn't want really to run a tight ship. Because his mindset is always coming from a point of evil and connivingness and underhandedness and all this stuff that comes in instead of a place of righteousness. Like when you're coming from a place of righteousness, you're doing it out of love. When you look at King David and the way he governed the people, he governed the people out of love. So you don't want to do something that's going to hurt your people. You want to do what's for the best for the people. What's going to best uplift them, man.
Because they didn't like to see people suffering, man.
Yeah.
That's why when the Lord come to bring judgment, he said to bring it, he will take it, basically. He didn't want people to suffer the judgment.
Yeah.
You know?
These men wouldn't do that. These guys go into politics and it's all about taking bribes. Taking bribes and working for the elites, man.
Well, we saw it during the pandemic, man. The man was saying one thing to you, man, but they weren't walking the walk. They weren't doing what they were saying. So they ain't prepared to sacrifice shit. Sacrifice you. That's what they're prepared to do. You know?
Scum, man.
Yep. I've got something on the back of that as well. Is Isaiah 19, verse 14. The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof. As a drunken man staggereth in his vomit, neither shall there be any work for Egypt which the head or tail, branch or rush may do.
Yeah, look at the Olympics, man. The Olympics was just a waste of money. It wasn't necessary. They could have been better off putting that money.
Road tour.
But it's been known. It's been known for a long time that the Olympics here actually doesn't do much for the host countries economically. It benefits a few corporations. McDonald's and these guys, but it doesn't really help. Even the World Cup. You know, like Brazil, when they built all them stadiums in the World Cup, it didn't help the real people there.
They went into cash and dust.
And then because no one's going to use them after that event is gone. And they had to spend all that money building them. That money should have went towards something that the people are actually going to use to help uplift themselves. They could have built.
Could have gone to housing.
It could have been given for investment for people to get more qualifications and things they need. You know what I'm saying? But no, they didn't. They wasted it on a stadium so man can have some entertainment, and then all the big corporations could take them funds and run out the back door with it.
Leave the stadium catching dust.
You know.
It's an empty policy.
Now in Manchester, they want to build Manchester around basically football because they got a new. Have you seen that new project they're gonna build? Basically, Manchester United, they want to build like a whole new project. You know, a massive new stadium, housing, all that, and it's all gonna be basically linked into Man United. So now your economy is basically in Manchester. It's gonna be based on a fucking football team.
Yeah, but so it's like I remember when where my brother lives, when that team got relegated, he doesn't watch football. He was like, oh shit, this is bad because that relegation, because that's one of the main messes up the entire city.
That's crazy.
So if you're like you said, if you're building an entire, I think that's what the fourth city. And you're making that all about football.
It's gonna be dependent.
Yeah, when Man United get relegated.
But that's what they're doing. A lot of it is dependent on these things. You know, which you're not supposed to be dependent on fucking entertainment to drive your economy. Because like I said, that's something that can fall off and disappear, and then what's left? Anyway, go on, man.
That's like even in North London. The only reason
As I say in the Tottenham Stadium.
they renovated Tottenham Hill just because of the Tottenham Stadium, and the rest of Tottenham is all gone to shit. But they're trying to basically renovate like South Tottenham, like all Seven Sisters and that, and build a new market and bring Edomites in there and kick all the niggas out. Gentrification. They got flats going for $3 grand for 2 bedrooms in Tottenham. Like,
Tottenham.
Yeah, well, Seven Sisters shit on $3 grand.
Man need to just go. What man need to do? See, Jake ain't smart. What you need to do is just go bust some shots here, drive them house prices. But you ain't ready, just bust shots randomly. You gotta start thinking like Esau, man. Just go, just bust shots, drive them
No,
You don't
shit.
get that, man.
Forget about them plans.
Bro,
Good.
Edomite said,
Hey, that's what Esau does. Esau does that, man. It came out that the BLM riots, a lot of the places where the riots were targeted because the real estate man wanted to come in up and get them cheap things. Yeah, Esau's a demon. Anyway, go ahead.
And the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner,
Yeah, go on.
and what manner of man, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein.
Right, the corruption. And the corruption is from the top down. So throughout this whole society, all you got is corruption, people taking shortcuts, people not doing business honestly. They're doing whatever they can get away with. They don't care if they make a product and it's damaging, as long as they don't get caught for it. And they make money out of it. That's really all that matters. And they'll push anything. Right? That drug dealer spirit, basically. You know what I mean? The crack. I don't like to talk about it all the time, but I was watching something the other day and they were still the power book and they were still trying to deify. They deify this whole fucking power thing. Like, there's like 4 different fucking spin-offs. And it's like, but bro, you do realize here that this guy is part of an industry that is just destroying people wholesale. Like selling crack cocaine is absolutely a demonic thing to do. There's no good you're putting out into the world, right?
Jake can make it sound that's the ultimate hustle.
Yeah, like
That's the ultimate way.
yeah,
to
it
hustle,
is. If you want to keep making money,
But that's their vision of the ultimate nigga though. Like I'm the
Oh,
baddest
yeah.
dude from rolling like this.
it's like
Even they got the other one, Gangs of London. I don't know if you've seen the Gangs of London.
I haven't seen it. I've seen it on
very
Netflix.
good. Like, it's hard. And they show you all these different nations, all these different, Turkish got their own gangs, the Arabs got their own gangs, everyone's got their own thing, but they're all trying to take over London, and it all comes to terms of shit. No one gets to win at the end of the whole thing. It's all a rot.
They're in jail. It's
well
known. That's what happens, isn't it? Jake still go after it.
But the wicked elite that's controlling, they call them the investors. They're the ones controlling the whole thing.
They're
The investors said,
They're
take this guy out.
professionals.
The investors
They
said, take
corporate.
this guy out. Yeah, because it's all corporations.
They're
They're the real gangsters. That's what the Jake don't understand. The real gangsters are the men in the suits and ties, man. These corporations you don't know about. They're the real gangsters, bro. They're the real hustlers.
It's playing you.
Yeah,
man,
they
like
give
a
you
fiddle.
the shorthand thinking you give you a few pebbles and you can make yourself rich and live the grand lifestyle and all that. Sail up into the sunset.
Yeah,
No,
but
man.
they know who you are, so when
They
they're
know
ready
who
to
you
reap
are.
you, they'll reap you, man.
And
They
they can
know,
get rid of you,
they
man.
know, man. Like them niggas that got caught the other day. Remember with all that money and that coke in the van. Yeah, you remember that? We posted
Yeah,
it, man.
probably from the
And it was that two dons.
They already know it.
And
They already know who they,
They already knew what was going on. It's like when it's time.
the investors, they're the ones that are behind the scenes. They're the real
Yeah, but once crack
controllers.
cocaine is selling in a man's neighborhood, what happens to it? It's on its way down, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not really a good thing, is it?
not.
But that's like indicative of the mindset of the people. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how something affects everyone else. As long as you can make a quick profit out of it, then it's all good. And as long as you don't get caught, you know. But that's the mindset of the elites. They do what they want.
They can do what they want.
Go on,
Grab
go on.
this real quick.
Yeah, go on.
Exodus 22:18 says, "Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live." And when you're dealing drugs, you're just doing the work of a witch.
Yeah, but really, what you're doing is you're selling escapism to these people, right? And it's mad because, like, I was watching a documentary on it because I ain't really been around a lot of crackheads like that. You know about cracking, but I was watching a documentary and it was an interview with a Jake from when they first started dropping the crack. Because when I grew up, crackheads were crackheads. They were fucking fiends. There was a time when these crackheads were not fiends. These were fucking engineers. These were fucking doctors. These were educated people, man. They just happened to go on crack. And I was watching the interview with the guy, like, and he was describing crack. He was so eloquent. You're like, how could this guy be a crackhead? But he was a full-blown crackhead, but he was like, yeah, man. And the way he was talking, I'm like, I was just in awe. Like, and he was talking about, yeah, he was on cocaine at first in the Holloway parties, and then it was his girlfriend was on the crack, and she was like, try this, innit? And then so he tried the crack, and he was like, man, I can't even explain it with words, because it's like this ultimate euphoria, but it's like a demon. Because he was like, yo, you need to get another hit of this shit. And when he's talking, I'm like, that is mad. You know, something that's got a hold on you that bad. And he was like, look, by the end of it, he had a good job. he had saved up money. He said he spent a total of 50 grand on crack. Like he said, all his life savings was gone. When he would get paid at the end of the month, all of the money just go on crack. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he just bro, it's crazy. Got all the money. So imagine that, right? You've gone from an engineer who's not only being productive in society, right? But you're now, making money so that you can have a family or whatever, and then further. What you saying, bro? No, it's all right, man. Yeah. You can be productive now. You're not being productive.
Yeah.
All of the money you're generating is now going straight to a drug dealer.
Yeah.
No one else. It's just going straight to a drug dealer, and all of it in quick succession, to the point where he didn't have nothing left, and he ended up dying after that interview from an overdose. But the point is, there was so many Jake that were like that. They were engineers, they were doctors. These are people that were productive to do things, and they just ended up being a fiend. And it's witchcraft, because it's like, I'm coming back to you. Whenever I have money, I'm just running back.
The whole life is now about this thing.
Like, you can sell someone
Slave-
alcohol,
slave to it.
but it ain't like that. Like, you might buy him, you can sell him a bottle of Henny, and he'll come back like maybe like next week because he wants to enjoy a Friday night and buy a bottle. He ain't gonna come with his whole pay. Look, give me a bottle, and then go back. Okay, give me another bottle, and just. And he said mans will leave work on their lunch break and never go back to work. It's just rock after rock after rock. Women would fucking leave their babies with a drug dealer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, bro?
Sell their baby.
Yeah, sell their babies, because the drug you don't care about
You don't
nothing
care
else.
about
You just
that.
care about getting high.
Yeah, chase that.
Bro, it's
All your
demonic.
aspirations is that, man.
I see like
Scary, bro.
like a lot of these crack addicts now will allow like a drug dealer to turn their house into like a crack den. Just literally, so they got easy access to the shit. So
Some of
then
these brothers experience all that shit.
Bro, it's crazy. So it is a form of witchcraft, but you're basically just milking another human being for everything they're worth, and what you're really giving them in return isn't worth what you're doing. You're just giving them a drug that they're gonna be addicted to, and they keep coming back in quick. They're not gonna cut, and that's why crack dealers made so much money. It's the fact that the person is gonna be coming back to you. It's not so much how much you're selling the crack for; it's the amount of crack you're gonna be selling. Because if they got 10 grand, they're gonna spend that 10 grand in a week, maybe. Like, just
I had a neighbor like that, like from Jacob, man. She had 2 kids, and then like she died from an overdose, and like literally, I was young then, so I didn't even really know what was going on. I was like probably like 12, 13, and the family just come through. The police came through, cordoned the whole area off because all the local niggas in the neighborhood literally was selling a mad crack. And the next door, next flat next door to my house, turned it into a fucking crack den, bro.
It's great.
it's crazy. Sometimes these nitties die, and it's like them man, they'll be dying, and they don't want to call the police for it. Because they know, like, I can't even call the police. Like, I can't call an ambulance. But the nitty's dying, bro.
Single mom, 2 kids,
Yeah.
dying, bro.
Yo, these dudes it's a foul thing, man. It's extremely demonic, man.
That's why it talks about the love of money.
And if it was a good thing, then that engineer wouldn't, his whole life wouldn't have been destroyed by it.
Yeah, man.
Like, I mean, alcohol, that's why in the scriptures you could drink alcohol, but it ain't that bad, man.
Yeah.
That's fuck.
But it's it also goes to show you as well, like it's a whole system in place that Esau set up. 'Cause one of the things that I've heard is that what these drug dealers will do is they'll employ people trafficking. So they employ the women as prostitutes, and then they'll be, hey, just try a bit of this.
Yeah.
Get the guy hooked, and that's why, especially like those high-end clients and stuff like that, get him hooked. Because if you got a millionaire,
Oh, man. Oh, man. A millionaire on crack is a jackpot, because it's basically just gonna, he's just gonna translate that million to you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Straight up, man. It's demonic, man. And for what? Just destroy someone's life, basically, so that you can get them dollar bills, y'all. And then someone come and shoot you for it. All right.
This is from Proverbs 25, verse 28. He that have no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls.
Yeah, and that's what that crack. You basically don't even have your own motivations and your own thing no more. Man. You're just addicted to that substance, and that's 100% witchcraft. But that's for some reason being one of them guys is glorified among our people. That's like you're like the A1. You're the top guy out here because I mean it's not even hard to do. The drug's doing the work for you. Man, act like it's a hard thing. It's not hard. The drug's doing the work. There's no other product that's like that, to be honest. It's like other products, you gotta work hard. This product, you just give the man the product and that's it.
Yeah.
All you need to be there now is just to sell it to them. Like, what did you have to do? You didn't even have to create it. It's just the easiest thing in the world. That's why the dumbest niggas could do it. You don't have to be creative or nothing.
Even them weed smokers now as well, like even those weed smokers as well, like the shit that they're smoking now, I don't know what the fuck they're
Oh,
smoking.
it's laced. It's
Yeah.
laced with all kind of shit.
Yeah.
And that's why they be lacing shit with crack too, because they know even if you give it to a man by accident, it don't matter. They're already hooked now. That's why you got to be careful with niggas, man. A lot of men get into it like that, where their shit get laced. Because when these drug dealers are desperate to get their sales up, they have to find a way to get more people hooked, like the brother said. You know? Yeah, man, it's demonic, man. But anyway, go on now. And all that comes from Esau, by the way.
Yeah, it's the whole industry, man.
Esau tried to get the whole of China hooked on opium.
Yeah.
That's well known, the Chinese
Opioids
opium
and all
wars.
that, yeah.
So Esau's always been in the game of getting people addicted. Because he knows that not only does that weaken and destroy people, but it makes them dependent.
Even illegal drugs, you know, what is that?
Yeah.
Documentary out on Netflix.
He
That
tried to
Jewish
destroy
family.
China.
Oh,
The coke, the cotton. What is that drug to do? The whole
yeah, I know the one. I'm just filling the tip of the
legal
name of
family
the
was supposed
family.
to be taken to court and then they bust case.
Bus case,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
The
Because
opium
they was
that
killing
people.
people with the oxide. What was it?
Oxycontin.
Yeah, Oxycontin.
Oxycontin,
Yeah. That legal drugs. These even worse.
run the pharmaceutical industries.
Yeah, it's even worse.
You know what's going on.
And that's what people should know, that Esau's not changed, because basically Esau done with the crack epidemic,
Yeah, exactly.
what he tried to do to China with opium. Because when you go back into history, that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to use the opium trade to weaken and destroy China so that they could come in there and basically control all the resources in the trade. That's what they were doing. And they were, as soon as the Chinese found out about it, straight away we can't get our people hooked on this opium, because man are just spending all their money on the opium and you become stupid and easily persuadable to do foolishness. And they fought it. Now, did we do that? No. We embraced it. Yeah, we need to start selling it and start worshiping it. Yeah. Whereas the Chinese were like, yo, no. We can't have a whole bunch of people hooked on this stuff and selling it and all this shit.
Crackheads and all that.
That's why in these days they got some of the strictest drug laws, man.
Yeah,
Don't be trying to take
because it goes back to that. They understood that
Dangerous.
bringing in these super addictive drugs is a enemy, is a weapon of the enemy. It's a weapon of the enemy, and it was used to good use against so-called Negro, because we're looking for escapism.
Yeah.
But people need to remember, Jake at that time didn't know this is where it was gonna go.
Yeah.
Because crack ain't even like cocaine. Cocaine ain't that bad. Like, I'm just saying.
I wouldn't know, bro.
I know, you know what I mean. I'm just saying, like, the difference between cocaine and crack is night and day in terms of the effect it has on you and the level of addictiveness. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of these dudes would hit the crack. They had no idea their life was going to change from that moment. They had no idea. To them, it was just like,
turn into a straight
You
thing.
That's it. All right. In the popular culture as well, codeine and promethazine as well. They came out of Houston, bro. They popularized that in the South as well through hip hop culture, to the point where bro, everyone was
cough medicine. They're
cough
drinking
medicine.
it,
When I was drinking
calling it
cough
scissor and all that.
calling it-
Turning themselves into fucking zombies in the studio.
yeah. All that stuff in a righteous kingdom, it wouldn't be happening, because people wouldn't destroy themselves like that. And people wouldn't be looking for so much escapism. You know, escapism itself is big money. Because why do people need to escape their lives so much? Because their lives are miserable. You know? Alcoholism. Most people are alcoholics. The root is their life.
And so when the wicked and rule the shit, the people
People
mourn.
mourn.
They're really mourning, man.
I said they're gonna drink wine.
Yeah. Gambling is another extremely addictive thing. Like, you know, and the people that are most addicted to gambling tend to come from, you know, being poor. So they get addicted to the idea of winning money, because they feel trapped. And gambling to them is like a way of escaping that addiction. And then it becomes an addiction, man. And gambling destroys people, man.
It says in 1924, it's reading they should not drink wine with a song. You drink wine and be bitter unto them and all that.
Because that's what it's gonna be like when wine makes you happy, but when there's a point where you could be so depressed that it doesn't help.
No.
Or you could be in a bad situation. Like, for instance, that man in Hezbollah when the pages was going off, the alcohol couldn't help.
That's that good grace as well.
The Lord is saying, Ecclesiasticus 10:3.
Yeah, good.
And wise king destroys his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the seat shall be inhabited.
That's right. And Esau is destroying his people because his cities are going to be destroyed. America is the biggest example of that, man. The stewards of America have led America towards destruction. They did that, not the immigrants. The stewards of America, which is the elite Edomites, they led America down this path, man. They led America down this cultural degradation and destruction that it's experiencing. They made the choices to enslave the so-called Negroes and do all these different things, and everything that's leading them to the ultimate destruction, man. It wasn't a smart move to enslave. If someone asks, should I enslave the sons of God? You should answer should always be no.
That's why the earth's waiting for the earnest expectation.
You don't
fuck up, man.
you don't give the green light on it. You don't give the green light on things like that, man. You're supposed to have respect, man. Even on the street, man, know that. You know the local bad man, his son. Should we rob him? Like, no, man, nigga, like, don't do that, man. Yo, like,
That's not for the Lord's area.
yeah, they're the real untouchables, man. You gotta think twice before you start doing something real quick, man. Yeah, go on.
Wisdom 5:3, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and the proverb of reproach.
Right, they would make that whole crack epidemic, right? Esau used that to again demonize Jake. Because it wasn't really affecting Esau like that, right? So they could use that, crack whore. The black woman, she's just a crack whore. Yeah, because you know what happens. As soon as men are on that crack, women automatically, the way they're gonna make money, automatically is gonna go towards prostitution. Automatically. Niggas do too, but niggas might be more prone to do some violence. But then even that was a way, Jake was selling their ass too to them white boys in the village. Sucking off man in the arms, in the toilets and all that kind of stuff. Hey, that Leonardo DiCaprio scene in the movie, when he was hooked off that shit.
Crazy shit.
Yeah, man. So yeah, they were calling the black ones crack ball, Jake crackhead. They're criminals. They demonized Jake criminally. Jake's just, that whole war on drug. They were able to recriminalize Drake as just being criminals.
Yeah. That's when they came with them petty crime laws.
Yeah, what was it? Bill Clinton and Biden.
Biden,
Yeah.
Biden came with that damn law, man.
Yeah, and look at his son.
Yeah.
He dropped cocaine in the White House, and then he was like, "Oh, we don't do it."
It's crazy.
The most, the most surveilled building on earth, and they don't know who dropped the drugs.
Probably his as an adolescent.
Yeah, that is hypocrisy, man. His son should be in jail.
Yeah.
But it's bankrupt.
He's the real Diddy. You see them videos?
Yeah.
I know Biden's the real diddler, man, but he was just trying to hide that shit under the rug for bare long, man.
Under Biden.
Yep.
Under Biden.
I don't think man was hunting with the next rock.
Little kids off, man.
Yeah. Says we fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor.
And that's what it is. They don't honor. They don't think that the end of Jake is going to be anything great. Like, as a people. And I'm not counting sports, because that's bullshit, man. Sports is just so fringe and bullshit. You can remove sports from life and it literally wouldn't make no difference. People don't realize that. Like, you could literally I got the world heavyweight championship. Yeah, it's something we could talk about, and we could talk about the perseverance and all, but it's still very superficial. Like, it's not something you need. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that is where if a man built a city, that's more glory than if a man just had a belt. Like, he knocked some guy out in the 5th round, and that makes him. But that's what they give to Jake, sports achievements. Like, man won a few cups. Yeah. But that's not really because that's all afforded by the other part of the civilization that's actually necessary.
Yeah.
They don't really think that we're gonna do anything great. They don't want to give us no greatness at all. In our inventions or they don't want to give us none of that.
Our mind.
They think we're just gonna go out as just being niggas. Yeah. We were there and Esau used us as what we are, beasts of burden, and that's all we're good
Yeah.
for. Just about. If Esau wasn't there, we barely probably know what to eat.
Yeah.
And probably kill each other.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
they don't think we're gonna come to nothing.
It's that brute beastness, that image that Esau likes pushing at Jake, man. Which is why, for instance, they all just be like, Jake is just sports, and they always just marginalize, minimalize Jake to just their rod. And it's like, bro, we do so much more than that. They think that once you go black, you never go back. Is just about that. No, it's about so much more than that. But Esau just marginalizes it to that.
But all this entertainment is just to kind of like show Esau owns us.
Yeah.
That's what it is, because you're his jester. in
It's his
court.
franchise.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. You're his jester. You're the one providing him entertainment. He's paying some pittance compared to what he's really getting, but you own him. You're doing it because he's there running you.
It was the slaves in the colony.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
because the world heavyweight champion is not get the same respect around the world as like a fraud like Elon Musk. You know what I mean? Like they're not considering man as say you didn't save the world, did you? Because you fucking ran 100 meters or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like so it's just bullshit. But they think that we're not gonna be nothing, but we are.
Yeah.
Through the spirit of the Lord, we're gonna be the stewards of the kingdom of heaven.
Real architects.
Yeah, the real architects, man.
This is-
Really bad, man.
Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness has not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yea, we have gone through deserts where they lay no way, but as for the way of the Lord we have not known it. What hath pride profited us? Or what good hath riches with our vaunting brought us?
Riches without wanting, because that's what it is. Esau had just having a joyride, but it's gonna come to an end. Because all that's gonna be worth nothing. All the 5-star holidays, 6-star, all the luxury that they've afforded themselves, it's gonna mean nothing when their kingdom comes to an end.
And just the respect that was going into that they get in the world, although it's waning. It's like Edomites can just go anywhere and then just command respect. Like, this is a madness.
Yeah, people want to be respected, regardless. Like people want to be valued. But when you're the devil and you're gonna be known as the devil universally, you're not gonna have no value in the earth, and that hurts, man. We've had to deal with that.
Yeah.
It hurts when people don't value you.
Yeah.
When people think you're nothing. Everybody wants to be worth something. Esau, you're the one that's going to be in the kingdom of heaven. You're actually going to be worthless. People are going to look at you like the expendable one, which you are. And then you're going to be rooted out of the earth.
One Edomite at the job I was in the office for a reason the other day, right? When Edomite at the job thought I was like in a lowly position, he kind of said something. And then I would be sat there like, check him. And he'd be like, yo, well, you know who I am, right?
Show amount of respect. Like,
You know you wasn't invited, right?
I could have blown you.
yeah, but he probably assumed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but he still like doing it. He still like doing that.
Yeah.
Because he thinks he's better already.
Yeah.
It's mad. Yeah.
Because he's white.
Yeah.
Wankers, man.
But he's be honest. In honesty, right? Even in the kingdom, you're gonna be like the most useless people in out the heathen. You're replacing those useless.
Absolutely replaceable.
Yeah. You know,
Absolutely, just arms and legs. Just absolutely
you're gonna be
replaceable.
like the most utilized.
Yeah, man.
But you're we only the most useless group of people on the planet.
But what do you need them for? The more, listen, the more,
Ain't got no cuisine. You know what I mean?
That's how you can see the wider
like,
world.
listen, the most valuable person is the person, and this is what people don't, in a way, people don't realize that. There's a reason why the management should be getting paid more. Because the management, if it's good management, is worth more than the donkey. It's just like with football.
Yes.
You could train anyone to move left, move right, basic pass, tackle. But the guy that has the IQ on that pitch to really pull the strings is worth more. He's just worth more. Because it's easier to replace a donkey than someone that has the intelligence to apply certain things up here. So it's just like a company. It's easier to replace someone that's just a grunt. You could train someone to do a physical movement over and over again. But the person that has the understanding of the system and how to operate is more valuable. It's just true. And Esau, you have shown that you don't have that value. You fuck shit up. So in the kingdom, you're just going to be a guy that don't do no thinking. You don't need no thinking from him. You've done your time for thinking and brainstorming and in the meetings, and the council thing ain't working.
Pick this up, move it over there.
And that's replaceable.
Yeah, the new donkeys of the year.
It's replaceable.
Break this one.
That's your low value wage labor that I could take anyone and tell them to pick up that bucket and move it over there. You don't need no. You're not high value human capital.
In the workplace, I've been around Edomites, 30 years experience in the field at the highest IQ you could possibly meet. They'll bring a group of them into a room together for a whole day to solve problems. By the end of it, nothing's resolved. All they done is sip tea and just have a jolly and that shit for a whole day, getting paid.
No value,
The British are the British are especially bad. There's something about these British Edomites.
In my workplace, yeah,
because the ones that they left here in the UK never really had to do anything. They were living off an empire. They were living off men that were over there doing things, generating value and bringing the value back here. This is the issue.
Brain drain, they call it.
Yeah.
They ain't got nothing. They ain't got it like that. Esau's not needed. You're not that smart. You're not that high IQ. You're a dickhead, man. I'm just telling you the truth, man. That's why when you get removed, it's not gonna make no difference. Just like when you're in a company and if you're in McDonald's and the guy that's just flipping the burgers gets fired, no one cares.
Probably don't change.
The stock price don't. Oh fucking hell, Johnny that was flipping the burgers, he's gone.
Johnny's gone.
Because it's like, bro, you just put out ads. And any dickhead can just come in. We give him, how long's the training for? You give him like 2 hours of, it's not even called training. What's it called? It's like induction. 2 hours induction. This is where the burgers are. You flip that, and then it just replaces us the next day, and it's moving on.
It's like, I'm coming to America with Eddie and flip burgers and that's it.
A good example of that is when Liverpool was losing Klopp. Them man thought it was going to be the end, because they know Klopp was so important to what was happening with Klopp. You can lose a player, but losing Klopp is like if Man City lose Pep. It's a massive fucking change, man. Because he really is the most valued person at that team.
We saw it with Arsenal and United.
Oh yeah, Alex.
When they brought Emery in, that was the
So the management is important for a reason, because the management have the wisdom to rule. The ruler is important. It's very important.
You say even the Klopp thing, because they're still the same players there the season after, pretty much. But they couldn't do the same thing after. So there has to be something about that, you know?
Yeah, because they bring in new systems, and those systems don't quite work. You know.
So they can't run themselves.
So we're gonna be like that new management with all the real ingredients that you need, man.
I grabbed this one. I might spend $250,000 on the project that didn't work. We just moved to Australia.
So the Millennium Dome was a big fuck up. Millennium Dome was a big fuck up.
What you an outlet, man? Even look at some cheap.
even now the West Ham Stadium, it's not really for a football stadium. And it's not what they use that for the Olympics. The Olympic Stadium.
The home of West Ham.
And even then, it's not really. It's not a football stadium because it's not close enough to the pitch. So even that, you could argue was a fuck up. I've got this in front of me.
Atmosphere.
Yeah. It says Romans 8:19, for the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of God.
Right. I mean, the world is really waiting for us to take it over and bring that proper leadership that Esau pretends to be. Because under our world, situations will get sorted. Esau's not sorting anything out. That situation in Israel and Palestine, the American police should have sorted it out a long time ago. Come to a compromise and let's move on. But they're not. Esau is he's just an asshole. He don't fix no problems. He creates more problems than he fixes. He creates more problems than he fixes because he's good at creating problems. That's what he's good at. But you see, we are the real rulers who are meant to rule, but with wisdom, knowledge, understanding. And that's what this ministry, the scriptures speak about, the perfecting of the saints. Because we're not going to rule the world as Pookie and Stookie Williams and them guys. We're not going to rule the world in that image. We're going to rule the world in the image of the sons of God, after the likeness of Yahweh Shai, which is a whole different level. So of course they're going to laugh at us. They go on World Star Hip Hops They see the dead bones, and they're like, these people can't do nothing. But that ain't who we are, man. We're way above that level.
Yeah.
And they don't like it. They hate when we start showing that actually we can achieve all them higher levels.
Yeah, but that's why it's systematic. You know, it's systematic to ensure that in this, which ultimately it's the curse. Because we weren't made to make it in this world,
Yeah,
right? So Mark 2:10, it's not our rest. It's
The curses,
you know, the curses. But that's why the Lord has allowed Esau to put these systems in place where there's nothing you can do, right? Like here it is, you be the smartest guy on the team, whatever, but they'll find a way. They'll find a way.
Again, it's not because Esau's great. It's the curse is holding us back.
Yeah.
We're being watered down, so to speak.
Yeah.
So we don't
Yeah.
push it up, you know.
Because even in one of the precepts, I forget exactly where it says, but it says, when I gave you my people into your hands,
47. Isaiah 47.
can't, you know,
Polluted mine inheritance. Yeah. Esau, man. Esau. He's a waste man of the highest order. But like I said, the proof is going to be when that missiles drop. Yeah. The proof is going to be when that missiles drop. Because if you were really as enlightened as you say you are, then there will be no World War III. Yeah. If you're really as enlightened as you said you are, everything's going to work out. Everything's going to be fine. Prosperity for everyone, and it's going to be cool. But something tells me that's not the case. I'm looking at the way Britain's moving, and I just don't see that. You ain't turning it around. No confidence. I've got no confidence in that. So, Keir Starmer and these guys, meant to be the brightest, the best and the brightest, right? Everything they're doing is against.
This man's a lord as well.
Go on, is it?
Because just because 10 and 4,
No kiss.
the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable.
That's the sons of God. That's the Israelites. Right now, the earth is in deficit. It's not profitable. It's not profitable at all. You know, it's not. You know, Europe is falling apart, and that's where their men are from.
Yeah.
Think about that. France, through. Spain, been through. Most of them men from Spain were coming to this is how bad it is. They were coming to the UK. Look, I work with so many in London.
Yeah.
There's so many Spanish people with degrees
Yeah.
working in Primark
Yeah.
because the Spanish economy was down all the way bad.
Yeah. Even
They down bad. They ain't got the empire no more like they used to. And so the people in Spain, there's a few corporations that's doing well. Yeah, because this is a world for corporations.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the people, the average everyday person in Spain, down bad. They begging man to go there on holiday.
Yeah.
When your economy is based upon man going tourism, you know you're down bad. But that's not what you're Greece is down bad.
Third world level.
Yeah.
Greece
Italy,
is
bro.
down bad. Italy down bad.
If you bear them Italians there before Brexit, bro.
Now Germany was supposed to be doing well.
One of the strong ones.
They was meant to be one of the strong ones doing very well.
Yeah.
Guess what? They down bad.
And they just keep shooting themselves.
Shooting themselves in the foot.
because they're being blackmailed.
Exactly.
The whole
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So they feel like we've got to comply with everything they're saying because
Germany's the strongest. Bro.
America's down bad. I think the only place that's doing all right in America is Texas or something like that. America's down bad.
Yeah.
America's down bad, man.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but this is the seat of where these men are from.
Yeah.
But the way they all think is these places are utopia. They're falling apart. Europe is literally falling apart to the point where man are looking for who to blame. So now you're having all this political jangling and all this fighting because it's that bad. If it was blessed, no one would even care about immigration and all that.
Yeah,
No one wouldn't care about nothing. But these people are food bank where we're from, bro. They're opening up food banks like say the betting, like bro, the food banks everywhere.
Yeah,
corn stores, you know, to sell your shit, right? Because you know you need to make money, you know, they sell your jewelry, sell whatever you got in your house.
Converters,
betting shops.
food banks and betting shops. Yeah, that's all you're finding, man.
Yeah, Tottenham the same, man. They opened they turned the Marcus Garvey Centre into a food bank.
Food banks everywhere, man. Because the price of everything else gone up, man.
It's gonna get
bad.
worse.
Yeah.
That's all these stock prices. No, well, not stock. I mean all these the
Stocks.
45,000 workers that are going on a strike.
Yeah.
Once all these strikes and all that come into play, hyperinflation. Because they said one of the main resources, and that they're going to lose bananas.
Yeah,
They're going to lose all kinds of
Oh, you're
food
talking about in America?
in
the
America.
ports,
Yeah, because everything's imported. So all their like kiwis, all these exotic fruits, they're going to lose all that. And everything's going to skyrocket in price.
Yeah.
Over in the UK, it's going to happen the same thing.
Same
Shit's
thing.
gonna happen.
They're even worse. Because America's actually one of the is the number one exporter of food in the world.
Right.
The UK and I think next one is
Netherlands.
Netherlands, man.
Yeah.
But they're destroying their farming culture.
Farming
too.
culture's done buying them out, or they're burning down the farms,
Crazy, man.
destroying factories.
Esau, man.
It's fucked.
The proof of just how bad, like just a couple of days of disruption to the services going into like a Tesco after Christmas, because obviously they don't get the deliveries on the same schedule anymore. And you go there, you're looking for stuff. Oh shit, where is it?
It's empty.
Stop. Everything's empty, and then the rotation starts on maybe the
It's misplaced. Yeah.
you know.
That's why I said that in 2nd Ezra 6.
So
storehouses.
Suddenly you'll say,
It's empty. So that famine's coming, man. When we talk about famine and all that, famine ain't even come yet. But when it starts, people are going to be
and
fucked.
then they're gonna start cutting off some of these drugs that these people are on. And they're gonna be going on withdrawal and bugging out.
And that's when these people are going to lose their mind because of the lack of bread. So for the lack of bread, the
Lack of
great
crack
tribulation, lack of crack. You know what I'm saying? Because there's not going to be no way to soothe the pain and all that no more. He's, drift off.
Nowhere to escape.
Nowhere to escape. No escapism. Meanwhile, I was say you're going to drink wine, bitter and all that. It's going to be bad times, man.
I know.
Evils.
Mr. fucking Zuckerberg, he was talking about recently the new fucking Facebook.
Oh yeah, the blind sight and all that shit.
No, the virtual reality
Oh,
thing. He's
virtual.
doing the whole meta thing, really. The metaverse.
Oh, the meta
shit.
ones. Oh,
That's how these men are trying to escape.
That's show you demolition, man.
But he was talking about neural interfaces, man. You know, pushing that whole fucking,
Virtual reality.
brain, the brain see hip shit. You know.
But you're gonna need it because you're probably gonna end up what they want to do. They end up living in a box, but then you go into virtual reality to have a home.
Get some fake food. That's some fake food.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like the Matrix, a man
These
on
sorts of
eating the
pieces of
lamb.
shit, man. Like there ain't enough land in the world. Yeah, go on now.
I just got one above a quote. It's 2nd Ezra 6:22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall suddenly be afraid.
And that's what's coming down the pipeline, man. And it's gonna be a crazy winter because it's like you got the elections coming up, America, which is gonna be. I already know there's gonna be some match. Whoever wins that,
It's over.
these people are primed and ready to explode. You know? And then you still got the situation in the Middle East and other situations. Ukraine's still ongoing, and you're gonna have more. Europe is gonna be even more messed up because every time you're gonna get a winter. Now it's the effects of what happened last year. People are in a worse economic position, energy prices. So people are going to be angry. Man, it's coming down the pipeline, and there's going to come a point where the whole thing's going to collapse.
Every winter's gonna be bad. You know, attention.
They make sure to publicize the money that they're shipping overseas as well.
Gaslight. They're gaslighting, man, with the Ukrainian thing and all that.
But they got no money for you though.
And if the United States starts having massive political upheaval, that destabilizes the whole world. Destabilizes. So really, these elections is for me. It's gonna be the must see TV. I'm gonna be watching. We're gonna be here, brothers. I need to see who they gonna choose because we know the voting. You go into the thing. Listen, the outcome that comes in the computers has already been predetermined. From now, they know. Okay, this state is gonna be this, that.
So it's like Apostle Elder Tarson. The president's not elected; it's selected.
They already know, but it's how they're gonna go through the theater. And if they come out and they say like Kamala wins, and then it looks bare booky. You know,
51-49 won't do.
It looks some booky thing like she's winning states that she was losing in the polls. Them Edomites are gonna lose their minds, man. Cause they're primed and ready. They're gonna storm Blackgate, man, and free the oppressed.
Capitol Hill.
Like I said,
storm Capitol Hill.
you could see a coup.
No, they would.
Could see a coup.
People are going to start dying as well. There's not going to be no just rioting. This time, people are going to start dying in the streets.
But even if they can have it where Trump wins, a lot of these Democrats feel threatened, man. You know,
and they've been setting it up with the
assassination.
They're in the street. I'll take people out.
It's a very interesting situation, but it's all gonna lead
Boiling point.
to Esau's downfall.
Yeah,
man.
that's the point.
A lot of the rich in the US are leaving there as well, and their tax dollars contribute a lot. Like in LA, which is like just mainly popular because of the Hollywood and like the entertainment industry. So they're taxing the rich like 56% over there. So loads of them are just moving out to like the south of America to or Louisiana and them kind of places. And then people in Hollywood is getting left in the dust. LA is basically like a town ready to collapse.
It's ready to. Even 50 was saying that.
Yeah.
He had his bigger major movie theater event in Shreveport.
Yeah.
So he moved it
Louisiana.
because he didn't want to go to LA because of the tax thing. He
Yeah.
said all the tax
56%.
incentives. So the tax incentives is better over there where Shreveport, wherever that is. Houston, I
Louisiana.
think it's Houston. So he said he went over there to do that business over there because LA is falling apart. He even said that as well. One of his letters in the City of Angels.
Yeah.
If people are leaving, what happens to electoral college? Because isn't that by amount the
I
population?
know that don't matter.
Oh,
What
like,
you were saying? Even
You're actually thinking about it. Listen, man, who cares? But like I said, with the electoral college and the voting, they've already know what numbers they're gonna put in there.
yeah,
You go into the booth and actually put in a vote, right? They don't count your vote.
yeah,
They already have a number like that they're gonna put
Yeah,
in. Like,
yeah.
this is the amount of people that voted for this person.
yeah.
This man, it's
That's
not.
why
you
they
can't
always say
vote,
it's rigged.
right?
That's why they always come out and say it's rigged. Because it is actually rigged. You know what I'm saying?
even like here in the UK, the government got a fund together to give Amazon 8 billion. They gave Amazon 8 billion from like the Labour government, and like people are
I was reading that article. I don't think they gave them 8 billion.
they set up a fund for that. I'm sure.
I think they've agreed a deal worth 8 billion or something like that. I don't think
Yeah.
the government gave them 8 billion. I was
Yeah,
reading
like
through that.
Let's be prudent with
We'll
them.
have a look at that.
but no, but anyway, like,
I should bring it up now.
it's a gaslighting thing that they're using for the people because like Amazon made like I think 7.7 billion last year, but they only paid like 760 million in taxes. So like over 7 billion in profits, bro. And then like people see that 8 billion figure and they're like, hey, yo, what?
I don't think the British government's got 8 billion to give anybody. So I don't think they gave
No,
them.
probably some tax cuts.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
Some kind of subsidy for warehouses.
Yeah, it says Chancellor announces 8 billion Amazon Web Services investment as she vows to make every part of Britain better off.
Oh, so they're going to be using Amazon Web Services.
Yeah, Chancellor Rachel Reeves secures a planned 8 billion investment from Amazon. Yeah,
From Amazon.
Amazon Web
Not to
Services.
Amazon, from Amazon. I think they're gonna bring 8 billion into whatever.
Yeah,
New
but
World
then,
Order
but
infrastructure.
yeah, but then again, that
So they're gonna make jobs.
Yeah,
Worth or whatever.
That's for the MOTV, man.
yeah, exactly. But it's just sort of like a government that makes no sense. It would make sense if Amazon was a British company. We are effectively saying that our UK infrastructure is going to be run by an American
Multinational demon company.
Yeah, exactly. Like they would never let Tencent do it, because that's a massive national
They
security.
wouldn't
right?
let Huawei have the 5G.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Well, America's banning American Chinese electric vehicles.
yeah.
Crazy.
Go on. You got the preset for them, man? Yeah, it's crazy, man.
I've got something here.
Good time. We got good times ahead, man. Yeah, and it's gonna be beautiful watching Esau finally realize that it's all fucked.
Yeah.
You know, China,
It's over.
especially the Edomites that own their house, they're so proud.
Yeah.
They're so proud, man.
So
I live next to these men, like they just like they're so proud that they bought their little house.
These men here, like,
that's what I was
know what I
thinking.
mean?
Yeah, they're
And you
proud.
just think to yourself, you don't know what's coming.
You
All
don't
that ain't
know.
gonna matter, man.
You don't.
You will own nothing. You will own nothing, man.
Yeah. Because it is one of the things like let's say Jake's in debt. We have debts or whatever, what have you, but the debts that the Edomites have, because the thing is, they got cars, but they got this shit. You know, they got cars where it's like $3,000 a month on the repayments. Then their mortgage like $5,000. Oh, but I met one of the guys I work with just on a slight interest rate changes. I mean, he was lucky because he had money in it, so he was able to get out of the situation. But his monthlies would have gone from $1,000 to $2,000 and a bit.
Yeah. Middle class is getting hurt.
How are you gonna just like find $1,000 extra a month?
And the thing is, the more the middle class get hurt, the less disposable income they have.
Exactly.
It destroys the economy even more because they're not going out and spending on things, man. Yeah, it's fucked. Yeah, go on, man.
Yeah, I had this from earlier. It's from Ezekiel 35, verse 10. It says, because thou hast said these two nations you know, because Esau's obviously used our people and abused us, man, for his own gain, right? God I said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord was there. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God Yahweh, I will even do according to thine anger and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them, right? It's really Esau that's got a problem with us, man, because he's jealous.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's why he treats us so bad, man, because really he's just that
Envy.
hateful towards us, man.
Yeah.
He wants to God.
He wants to suffer,
Yeah.
you know.
He wants to be the God.
So he makes us his entertainment. You know, he gives us money. Well, these guys money, but they got to bend over and do all kind of heinous shit to be there, so they can have something over them to mock them.
Yeah.
You know, he's just a hateful fucking being, man. You know, it says and I will make myself known among them when I judge thee, right? Because the Lord's gonna exalt his people, and he's gonna debase you.
Yeah.
You're gonna come crashing down like a fucking sack of potatoes, and say you're gonna go down to a real old place when America destroyed and you put into slavery, man.
And another thing, like while we couldn't really progress in this society, because then Esau would get the credit. You know, the Lord is gonna get the credit for our upliftment, man, and our translation into glory. We can't let Esau get that, man. That's another reason, because Esau always gonna want to be there to be like, man. No, you destroyed our people, man.
Yeah.
That's the credit you're gonna get. You polluted the Lord's inheritance, man. The Heavenly Father's gonna get the credit for our glorification and our upliftment, man.
Because he still tries to take credit for not having us in chains anymore. Like he actually wants credit for that.
Oh, you speak English,
Yeah, he credits himself because we're fast runners, because he used to have us in the plantation.
Yeah.
He will take any credit he can. You know,
That's
you know, we're smart because he educated us. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's so fucking ridiculous.
Mud huts, yeah. They love to talk about these mud huts.
But there you go. The Liverpool Slave Museum, the first step that you go into is literally, you was in mud huts. The first part of the museum is you was in mud huts.
You started here.
Yeah.
And look at where you are now.
Basically.
In the fucking stone carnival.
With these shitty new builds that we got.
Yeah, these new bills are dog
Yeah.
shit.
And
They're not gonna last. And the amount of money people are spending on them, they're not gonna last.
And they're financial traps as well. Because once you own the house, let's say you paid it off, you had a spare 350, 700 grand chilling. Bro, you paid it off, but you know what? After that, you end up having to pay service charge.
Yeah, that's so
And that-
killer.
And certain of them service charges, you're looking at them numbers like, bro, that's a madness. It will be like, you know,
And it's not regulated.
Nah, it's not worth the money they're charging people for what they're getting.
they're taking the piss.
And like I said, then that new one they just built at Cannon Town Station, they're saying them flats are gonna be like 500k a piece, and it's like, what? Yeah, it's mad thing. It's mad.
There's nothing in Canada.
Yeah.
Just the station.
Sorry, not Cannon Town, West Ham. But there's nothing there. That's even more so. But they're gonna obviously, when they build these things now, they make sure they put a little supermarket. But ultimately, like, like what are you getting? Like, you know what I mean? It's like when you think about you go and you see what people spend money on to buy houses other places in the world or even outside of London. You just like, what's going on? If you better be a banker to be fucking, you better be earning $1 million a year to be paying that much money, man. There you go.
I would say another thing on the new builds is it depends on how the energy is distributed in the building, because sometimes it's a central gas, and those prices aren't regulated. So you know how you got the price cap? You had a whole load of people hurt in like these new builds, because for us at least it was capped for private residential. But these people, their prices went up outside of the cap, so their gas prices went up even more than we was paying.
That's crazy.
So it's
I
a
didn't
trap.
know that.
Yeah, one guy at the job, it was a guy I asked what was curses today.
Oh, okay.
That happens.
Sounds like he's on fire right now. That's crazy.
Back in verse 12, it says, and they should know, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies, which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying, they are laid desolate, they are given us to consume. Thus with your mouth you have boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard
Why is that? Because if you know the Lord made a covenant with his people that the land would belong to us. So for you to say, oh no, it's mine now, it's not even that you even disrespecting us. You're disrespecting the Heavenly Father because you're saying he ain't gonna keep his word. And you know because you're running around printing it. The Lord made a promise to Abraham that his seed would possess that land, and you're like, nah. We just going, we just go, you know, yeah, we gonna take it. They were literally atheists, man. The Zionists were literally atheists. There was a whole debate whether the Most High would even be mentioned in the not the Talmud, the Declaration of Independence. There was a debate. It's like, yo, because you had atheists, you had a couple of men. It was like, yo, we need to mention God. I was like, why? We don't even believe in God. So they ended up just being a generic statement that sounded like it was mentioning God, but it really didn't. That's why his name ain't in there, because they didn't believe in God. They only used the Bible as a historical reference to say Jewish people were in this land. That's what they used the Bible for. They weren't using it to say spiritually, this is our land because of God. They don't believe. These people are like Satan, man, openly. That's why the state of Israel is a secular nation. Secular. Now, the kingdom of heaven isn't going to be secular. It's going to be spiritual. This guy is serious, man. Atheist, you know.
All it said is
It's Satan, man.
there is no God, man.
That's why you got this Harari guy.
I hate that devil the
He's
most.
just doubting the Most High and saying we don't need the Most High no more. We've got modern technology.
He's like,
And he got a skinny neck, man.
he's the MVP.
Anyone that broke him up, like, and he got the biggest mouth though.
Yeah.
You
He's
know what I'm saying?
the MVP of atheism, eh?
Scientology.
That's generational atheist, man.
His verse 14 says, thus saith the Lord God Jehovah, when the whole earth rejoiceth, I will make thee desolate. And Esau's going to be done away with, man. You know? In Idan, Esau's going to be done away with.
Yeah, by your own weaponry as well. You're going to use your own weaponry, your own blessing to destroy your own empire.
And as thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it, and they shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh.
Yeah, like we're not gonna feel sorry for you Edomites when you lose everything. You're not gonna be like no sympathy or empathizing with your plight. Nah, ain't gonna be none of that, man. We're gonna be laughing. We're gonna
celebrate.
Yeah, we're gonna be too busy enjoying our win, like to be worrying about you and what you got going on.
It's actually going to be a new high holy day in the kingdom, celebrating the downfall.
Your downfall, man.
New
Babylon
songs.
the Great.
And you gonna celebrate it too.
Oh yeah. You're gonna have to. Isn't it? It's gonna be in the kingdom.
Yeah,
So high holy day.
You gonna celebrate it too. Damn devils, man. Yeah, go ahead.
It's Amos 1 and 11. That says the Lord, for 3 transgression of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off our pit.
Yeah, you never had no pity on our people, man.
So you expect you ain't gonna get people from us?
You never had no pity on the Native American Indians, man. And we're seeing that because we see how you ain't got no pity on these Palestinians and that. Yeah, kill them all. Like that's the same way they were going on with the Native American Indians. You had no pity on our people, man. You were slaughtering them. I got the book, Bury My Heart in Woundedly, and you know that what's written is not even half of what happened. How they would wait for the braves to go out hunting, and then they'll come in and they'll slaughter the old, the young, the women, and they'll mutilate. These men are talking about savage, right? The man would take trophies of the Native American women's vaginas. So imagine coming back to the village, like you coming back with the food, and everyone's dead, and the man even mutilates your wife's vagina.
Guts and gore.
The squaw, what they call them, the squaws, isn't it? That's what you did, man. You some real pieces of, you know what I mean?
Shit.
You real low lives, man. And Jake, you just brought Jake over from you know,
West Coast.
and just from the Caribbean to America, South America, violated them. In fact, it was even getting violated worse in the Americas, man. In Brazil and places like that, man.
And you think you're not gonna pay?
You think you're not gonna pay? You never had no pity, man.
And his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his love forever.
Right, and you, Jake, think his wrath is kind of not as bad as it was. Like I said, man, when America begins to collapse, man, Esau's gonna unleash how he really feels. Because a lot of these Edomites that you think, oh, racism, but EJ don't really understand real hate. Forget, I don't even want to use the word racism. Real hate. Real hate is when a man can kill you and your family, bro. Like it's nothing. I mean, you're gonna find that out. These Edomites, they're gonna come with a vengeance on you, Jake, man. They're gonna blame you for the reason all things are happening, and they're gonna take you out on your children. When you could kill man's children, that's how you know you hate, man. Real genocide. You're like in Rwanda, where man's macheting children down. That's a hate. Like if you can't machete a man's children, you don't really hate. Tell you straight, your hate soft. Real hate is when man's killing children. And that's where it's gonna come to, because they don't like you and they don't like your children. You're gonna find that out the real way. And there's a lot more Edomites that think like that than you really understand.
But like I said, these Israelis gonna come dropping bombs on children and shit. So they actually do hate. They actually do hate these.
There's Edomites that do nothing but go in these forums, right, and post memes and pictures backward and forward in each other about you niggers and talk about how they like to blow your head off and blow your little nigger babies up and kill you. I'm being real. Sometimes you end up finding yourself, and they don't ban these accounts.
No.
These accounts don't get banned. They don't get wiped off. They're all on Twitter. They're on Reddit. On Reddit, man,
Reddit,
and it will be John like from accounts, man.
Like I was gonna say, because when Esau speaks about, the racists, they always show, the typical skinhead, bare belly, the guy can't speak properly, the caricature,
Elmer Fudd.
But no, it's these guys.
That's the only type.
It's all of them. All these Edomites are like that, man. Because that's the thing. Esau's good with his witchcraft and how he presents things, man. Jake will be living. No, not Gary next door. He's all right. No, Gary next door is going. Yeah.
Society.
As the elders have said before, there's no such thing as a good Edomite, man.
We didn't show you in that movie. What's that? Leave the world behind. Esau just changed up, switched up on the Jake. The Jake was his neighbor. He came to him and said, "Oh, help me. I'm trying to get in contact with certain." He's like, "No, man. Had the barrel shotgun there. Said, if you come any closer, I'm gonna blow your head off." I don't care how long I've known you. You know what I'm saying? So that's Esau's gonna go back to. He's gonna revert back to that cave, like
even
wild
with
mentality.
this Joshua, we know when AJ lost, bro. Do you know the amount of Edomites here that are online and they're still holding on to that BLM fucking thing? You know when he and then you know when he said thing about the superior black race, they're celebrating like Carl. That's why Carl Frost is the most. He's a racist. He's a known racist. Him and his brother.
He hates AJ.
And he's like their champion now because he could say all the things they want to say. That's why they're celebrating AJ's loss because they hate AJ, man. It's crazy. Like and there's a lot of them.
Yeah, that's it.
Huh?
Shaq sent me the recording.
Or even that one, bro. A lot of these Edomites, they don't like Jake here. They're getting more and more angry and more filled with hatred towards Jake, man. They feel it and then all they need is voices to keep like Tommy Robinson and them, man, and to keep feeding and egging them on, man. And then there's gonna be a day when they can trigger it. Man start killing people, and man are gonna be down with it. You think they ain't, but they are. They are, man.
I had a little spurts of that with that EBO right thing. It was ready with that when it was burning down mosques. They were really ready to snap. But they got quelled and all that. But when the next time it happens, they're really gonna go forward. Man.
Especially if a couple Edomites Edomite women get killed somewhere.
Oh,
but our women and all
like,
this.
We've had enough. Fuck it, kill them all.
They're killing our babies. Like, bro, you're killing a baby. Bro.
Well, I
Jimmy Savile was. Go on.
Finish on say, but I will send a fire upon Teman, which shall devour the Paris of Bosra.
Yeah, man. Yeah, can we get Ezekiel 21:9? Yeah, 21. Yeah. Oh, get what you're getting as well. Yeah.
This is Ezekiel 25 from 12. I said, "Thus saith the Lord power, because that Edom has dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and hath greatly offended."
Yeah, you greatly offended. Like, yeah, we know Jake wicked and all that, but you're not. See, this is what you Edomites need to understand. Yeah, Jake can be as wicked as you like. We know that. Jake can be bugged out, wicked as you like here, but that does not exonerate you in the court of law. It doesn't exonerate you in the Most High's court.
But he did it.
You're gonna pay. You greatly offended for everything you've done to the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And it's so much you've done so much that the half has never been told. The pain and anguish that you put for our people through, it can never be told. The madness that you were doing on the islands to our people, man. Go on.
Can't quantify something
Yep.
like that.
Yeah, you can't. You can't. The misery, the Thistlewood thing is just the tip
Yeah,
of the
tip.
iceberg, man.
Says, and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I will also stretch out mine hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and I'll make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword, and I'll lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel,
Mm.
and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger,
Mm.
and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord power.
So the Lord's gonna use us to punish you, Edomites, and that's what the see. You think slavery is just slavery? It's not just slavery. It's gonna be punishment. Sometimes your job is just gonna be getting punished.
Yeah.
Like we make it sound like you're gonna be working. Yeah, sometimes you're gonna be working, but sometimes you're just gonna be getting fucked up.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes you just gotta be. We're not gonna sugarcoat it. Sometimes I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna be like, look, select 5 Edomites. They need to just get whipped. They need to be chased by lions or something out here. You're not just gonna be employees like you check in and you work. No, you're gonna have to be getting beaten because guess why? You did a lot of that to our people.
Look,
Beating man, putting lemons on man and all that, torturing,
wickedness.
cutting the pregnant women's babies,
Yep.
the baby on a bet. Feeding man's babies to alligators.
Yeah, got a little Edomite there with a burnt Jake body.
So what do you think? We just go, okay, yeah, you know.
Well, you got to know despair, man, and torment.
Yeah. Gynecology. That was Esau, just like with Eve. You know, just like up, just like no anesthetic, just cutting her up.
Seeing
Just
how it
cutting her
operate, yeah.
You know, the modern medicine's a lot of
And they still really doing that, like
Yeah.
And I've seen it, like the way they deal with so-called black women in the hospitals,
Yeah.
man. They have because there's this notion again, like niggas ain't human. Like we could take pain. You know what I'm saying? So they don't give a fuck when niggas treat you. But a white woman, boy, she say she feels something, they're gonna take it serious. Oh, okay, listen.
Get the morphine
Yeah,
and all that.
I mean, yeah, they're gonna make sure that they investigate.
Anesthetic, yeah.
Yeah, Esau, man. And guess what? A lot of the people who are doing that is also well, they said if the doctor's black, then it's cool. But some of these black nurses, yeah, they're cold to their own people too. They love sucking up to the white people, and then when it's their own people, like,
Yeah.
because it's white supremacy is all up in them, man.
This is from lordslibrary.parliament.uk and also echoed by the BBC. Black women 4 times more likely to die in childbirth.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen the way they operate, man. They don't give a fuck, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's saying our kingdom, it's not for us. But in the kingdom, you guys are gonna be more likely for everything because,
Yeah, bad times we need them, man.
yo, I'm telling you, this punishment. It's not. You got these people thinking you're just gonna be working at Primark or something. It's not gonna be that. You're gonna be getting in the field and whips are gonna be getting handed out, man. Stinging, man.
I remember hearing stories of like how people go into like their an old Edomites attic and there'll just be a pickled Jake rod in it. That's what these Edomites were doing. That's what they were doing. They were taking a memento.
Yeah, but it's true. They were taking savagery.
Yeah.
You know, they were doing all of that, man. And like I said, the half has never been told.
Yeah.
The half, and what about the mental torture? Constantly being talked down on. Constantly being rejected. You got a lot to pay for, man. Anxiety. Yeah, because it was known. Like if a crime had happened and they said a black man did it, a lot of men were under anxiety because they were gonna find anyone they could point the finger at. You were gonna get
100%.
and they weren't trying to hear nothing. But guess what? In the kingdom, that's how we gonna be.
You farted, man. It's not coming out, man.
There was even the well-to-do Jakes that had land and like actual resources, and Esau would just turn up like, yo, like we heard you got some shit on here, boy, like literally, and then Jake would do the whole
description. Motherfucker, like Jake was just the same. Jake would put it up.
The stories
You
of Jake.
put hot though, innit? Because like shit, man, I'm looking for someone like me, bro.
Because even like stories of Jake that will go through the whole legal process and prove that they're the rightful owner of the land, go through court and everything, and they will still get shot
Well,
up.
they did that to the Native American Indians. They won their case in the court for their land, and then the man said, okay, well, he said the military guy, I think it was Rand, he said, okay, now that the judicial has made that, then enforce it, and they can't because the military run shit. The military is the enforcer of the judicial. So if the judicial don't respect what the judgment, what are you gonna do about it? The judge ain't gonna go grab a gun and go, you know. Esau, man, fucking man. Anyway, we lost scripture. I know the brothers go.
Ezekiel 21 and 9. Isn't it?
Yeah, 21 and 9, man. We gotta be prepared that at the same time, you see all this thing happening over there in the state of Israel, everything's warming up. Remember, I'm telling you, I'll be on Twitter, I'll be on these sites here, and I saw the comments. You Negroes, Hispanics, Native American Indians are the problem, and they really believe that they're a victim. They believe that there's a genocide happening against their people. They believe that their white saviors are being killed. They believe that they're being oppressed. They call it two-tier policing and all this crap. Like they really like back against Esau's got this back against the wall. Then on top of that, like remember these Edomites, they're suffering because they got an inferiority complex. Because for the first time, all they're doing is watching Jake rodding out their gal online. Yeah, so they're hurt off the back of that. You know, they got problems with their family, you know, and all that shit.
Yeah, they're becoming niggas.
Oh shit.
They're hurt, man. They're absolutely hurt. They're filled with hatred, anger, and envy, and it's gonna be more built up and more built up. They're gonna have more events. So be prepared for that, man. Be prepared. The day's gonna come where, like, you might. Right now, we don't really deal with racism to that degree. You can walk down the street, well, where I'm from. I wish a white boy, you know, where we are, you know, because I live in the majority ethnic area now, so you don't really worry about racism. Like, but I wish a motherfucker would, man. I'm gonna get stumped into the next century. But you gotta remember that the time's gonna come where the Edomites are gonna come roaming. You know, they're gonna come roaming.
Catch a stray.
Invading of one another. Like how they were trying to do. They were turning up in different man's spots, trying to invade. They start burning people down in their houses, which they've done before. That's happened in the UK before. Remember that club incident where they burnt them Jakes up in that club? I'll find it. That was like a famous incident where they burnt a whole bunch of Jake up in this club when they were having one of them reggae things. Esau's known for burning people up in their house, in their flats even. You gotta be careful with that. You know, what's it called? Where them niggas get
Grenfell.
Yeah.
They even had one recently. What was it?
That's in Dagenham, innit?
Dagenham, yeah.
Man.
Ezekiel 21 and 9. Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord Jehovah, say a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree. And ye have given it to be furbished that it may be handled. The sword is sharpened and it is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer.
There you go. The slayer, man. So these Edomites, man, they ain't gonna go out without incident. They ain't gonna go out without incident, man. They're gonna be out to get that last bit of blood, you know, that they can get, and they will. So, you know, we're in that time, man. Prophecies coming to pass, man. But its beautiful thing is that we know the end of it is good for us, and the end for them is bad. And that's why we have to keep the faith throughout the whole ordeal and understand that our Lord lives, you know, and our Lord reigns, man. You know, he holds the keys to hell and death, man. All right. So, you know, with that, we say, double honors to the apostles.